Greetings. Welcome to Monday, October 23rd, 2023. This
Not
is
muted, not muted, not muted, not muted, not muted, not muted.
Be quiet.
the diarrhea of the mouth on everybody is actually shocking. No, don't even do a what about me. Don't even do that. Don't even. You are all one for all and all for one big mouths. You are. Uh, welcome to Monday, October 23rd. Today's show absolutely is in the running for one of the worst ever. And shockingly, I wound up with about 25 clips. I don't know how. I did delete some of them because a lot of it was just inane boredom. I do want to bring John in right this second because I want to talk to John about something. Johnny?
I have.
Hi.
I hope you
So-
don't. You're not going to relitigate me, are you? For us.
So John and I, when we used to do the show back in the day, Bon has been remastering them and putting them up in like 5-episode bulk series of sorts. And we were remembering how when we used to do the show back in the day, we always were so excited and we were kind of like those crazy kids putting on a show, and now we're just so jaded and bored by this whole topic of conversation. It's so sad. It's just really sad. That's all I wanted to say.
Everything has been said. You can say there's almost no variation that in my head. I know I'm repeating something I said 8 years ago, and I have to spit shine it in a different way. Maybe rearrange the phrases and stuff. But I think we've said everything you could possibly say about this show. The more he repeats himself, the more we'll repeat, and he will repeat himself every show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
I not RadioGunk related, but elsewhere on the internet, you are now just seeing daily worst show ever, which is the motif that Howard has proudly pinned on himself.
Deservedly so.
And it's, I don't listen to a lot of shows, but it is absolute just hot garbage, bro.
It's hot garbage.
It really is.
I didn't know what hot garbage meant or a dumpster fire until this show. Now I have
Seriously?
a firm,
it
I
is-
really didn't, I never used it regularly.
Dude.
I'm like, why do people say that? I'm like, what is an example of that? And this show
The Howard Stern show.
couldn't feel more. It is the prime paradigm. It is the perfect personification of what hot garbage slash dumpster fire is.
Yeah.
The cold sweats I get now at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Meat sweats.
No, this cold sweats from like, my God, it's coming on. He's not on vacation. Oh dear Christ, no.
He is.
Oh dear God, no. Why did I wake up for this? Why am I up?
And then how
Why?
happy are you on the days he's on vacation? Like,
Oh my God, I'm like
you wake up in
Snoopy.
the morning.
I'm like Snoopy. I'm running a house like Snoopy.
Well, think about the reverse effect it had on you psychologically when you liked the show in the 90s and
Yes.
early 2000s, and how you would walk around all day quoting it. You couldn't, it energized,
Yeah.
it galvanized you, and you couldn't wait to bring it up to people. I had so many people in my life I used to share this show with, and now I'm embarrassed. I do this show and I'm embarrassed. I'll never admit I listen to the show. If I do, it's simply for this, for 15 minutes.
John, are you reading what Rodney?
Thank you for the $5, Drew Show.
You know what? Listen, it's one of those things, and he may have spazzed out. Yes, John may have spazzed out on the Artie interview, but he made Artie laugh. And I love that, John's superpower is being able to tap into the most inane piece of trivia or information that
Special skill.
It is. It's a special skill. He knows how to ingratiate himself to somebody.
Ooh, ingratiate.
He really does.
Oh, speaking of Artie, I really enjoyed his Vice special. I watched the full thing Saturday. I had not seen the full thing. For whatever reason, it wasn't readily available, and I just didn't go circle back and watch it. It's really good, and it made me love him all over again. And the subjects they chose for it, we should probably do a show on it. They chose, what's his name? Orlando Jones, Deborah Wilson, Bobby Lee from Mad TV, and all black people. It was all minorities.
Yeah.
And Doug Goodstein, Sabian, and that guy Anthony Baza, who co-wrote his book with him, or really the only people who comment. I want to know who said no to it.
I don't know.
Hey,
The reenactments are phenomenal. They do. Artie's dad falling off a ladder. They do like the the background kind of shadowy thing when they reenact elements of Artie's life.
they never really mention it, but Artie's dad is named Artie.
They don't mention it
Is-
often.
He's a
They
he's a
don't.
junior. Artie,
Yeah,
is
they don't
a,
mention it.
a third or a junior, one or two.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So
Pete Holmes, like Yankee Water, but
is it
yeah,
Arthur
Pete Holmes
Stephen Lang or some shit like that.
as well.
So what we're going to talk about today is a
Hey,
lot of nothing. And
you know, this weekend,
Well, there's a couple of nuggets. There's a couple of
by
nuggets.
Well, nuggets.
coincidence, the Joe Buck Artie Lang thing popped up on my suggestions, and I saw the whole thing again for the first time since it like really happened, and it's just like you guys have already covered that, right? The whole Joe Buck.
Yeah,
Artie
we
Lang
did a whole
thing?
show on it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I thought.
Bon Jovial was passionately. That was the first time we did. No, the second time. Shuley was the first time, and the second time he was adamant that we do an Artie versus Joe Buck show.
Yeah, that's quite the appearance by Arthur.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It goes down in the annals of history as something really
Yeah.
Anals is a good word for
spectacular.
it.
Artie was at peak heroin, and yeah, I mean, it was really
you
kind
know
of
what? In hindsight, to see him do his Howard Stern shtick on someone else's show, it really was cringy. You know?
Well, in all fairness, Buck told him to quote light him up.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know
what
the
is he
whole
supposed
story.
to-
He told him to don't. You go, you do what you do, but it's just like he was doing Howard Stern, Artie Lang, on someone else's show, and you can see he's sitting next to Paul Rudd and the dude from that used to be on SNL.
Yeah.
And the cringiness of homophobia and all that
because
stuff.
you realize
It's like,
you realize
whoa,
that
it just,
shtick
you know.
doesn't really fly anywhere else.
You know what?
Like,
It's basically like someone. It was like someone turning on the lights at a strip joint.
My
Oh, great analogy. Awesome analogy. Damn
my
straight.
my
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
I feel that right.
we've all been there.
Jason Sudeikis, right? Jeremy spoke.
Oh,
My theory was that
Yeah.
he got so homophobic with the Jessica Simpson stuff, and Jessica Simpson's dad, I believe, and he called Tony Homo,
Romo.
that there are HBO gay executives had the show canned. That's my theory. It never really came to light, but I think there's gay executives at HBO, and
You think so?
Buck had 2
No.
episodes. Why would you put that much into it and give him 2 episodes and pull it? You're not going to try. You're not going to give him a bigger chance. Conan O'Brien had 3 years to suck.
But
This guy gets
Conan-
2 episodes.
but Joe Buck has all the personality of a wet nap. I mean, he is.
Yeah, but Dennis, you had
dull.
2 episodes. You're not going
I
to try
understand
something.
that,
They
but,
put a
you
lot of
know,
money into it.
2 episodes is a
Sometimes-
very curious amount of episodes. That's like,
And
Yeah,
Artie
I
was on
know.
both of them.
oh right.
He already was on both of them.
He was.
All right, let's stop about Artie and let's get into this. We have so many clips to get to.
Yes.
So you would
Please,
think
let's
to
go.
yourself, okay, the show sucked. What's it about? What happened today? Absolutely show about nothing, as Ida just said. And yeah, but then lo and behold, there I am with like 20 some odd clips. And I don't know. I think what I tried to do today is like every time there was like a new title for the next like 15 minutes or something, he talks to Ronnie. Is I tried to represent a clip from that specific time
Segment.
period. But what wound up happening is Howard was such a liar today about like bills and payments and clothing and Amazon. And I thought it was like a really good look into just the line of bullshit that he's been providing to people. It was kind of
That's-
crazy, right? I mean,
he was extra special today. I mean, he really I couldn't sound more incompetent, more out of it, unprofessional, just basically making up everything on the fly with that 69 IQ. I mean, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like a really stupid person trying to make up lies.
Well, he lies about mundanity. He lies about things you shouldn't even. No one human being should ever need to or desire to lie about.
But-
Everything out of his mouth is a reflexive lie about for no reason at
Well,
all.
let's start with the beginning, with the first clip. I mean,
I'm
he starts
going
right
there.
out of the gate.
I'm
Right out
going
of
to
the
go
gate,
there.
man.
Didn't even have to say it. I'm going to go there.
Right out of the gate.
You know what the other problem though is with Howard is that he lies so effortlessly. Like
Yeah.
it's not even like meaningful or about something
That's what I mean.
unique
It's
to the
mundanity.
conversation. It's just
Unnecessary.
yeah, it just comes out. Speaking of heroin addicts, says I'm scared to read this. Mo, can you explain what the F Natasha Lyonne is doing in these horrible Old Navy commercials? She morphed into George Burns. Oof, not a good look. You're the fashionista. You know, the thing about Natasha Lyonne is that she has always been that person. So, you know, she's such a loon, and she always looks strung out. She's always been that person. There is no difference between her today and her
But now she's
10
just
years ago when
old.
she was a club kid.
and
Except now she's old and she
now
looks
she's old, and it really stands out.
Very
Exactly.
interesting accent she has.
she's very New York though. She's born and raised. She's a New Yorker.
Yeah.
That
Like
one.
the Queen's.
All right, let's start our show. Let's
Brooklyn
start our
accent.
clips. Here we go. Here's how it started.
Hey, show note. Whoever's in charge around here, clearly I'm not. Let me know when the song starts. You know, at the beginning of the show. Because I don't know that the audience wants to sit through the whole song.
How about 7 o'clock, douchebag?
Unreal.
Our setup is one where I don't know what's on the air until I get on the air. You know what I mean?
What
All
else?
right,
Because you're not in the studio.
All right. Well, first of all, this is a man that always prided himself saying that, oh my God, I run my own board. Well, wouldn't the intro song be part of running your own board? Second of all, your
Maybe.
show starts at 7 a.m. There's a clock. You look at the clock. You have a digital clock. You don't even have to know how to read it. It says 7 a.m.
It's so
Yeah.
cute here on StreamYard. We're talking, and all of a sudden I see a countdown to what time I have set the show for. And then all of a sudden, it's time. And it says, it's showtime.
He has let the song run till the end. 'Cause
Yeah.
I mean,
Lately,
it
yes.
is 7:04 before he starts talking.
It's also cute that he pretends to care about what the audience is concerned about when it's
But
convenient.
the thing is, though, this is a 45-year veteran of radio
Yeah.
that sounds worse than a rank amateur. He
Yes.
sounds like a clown. I mean, that's clown talk. That's not funny. That's not being cute. That's just being a clown. I don't know what time my show starts. Well, you're an idiot.
Well,
End
he's
of
kinda
story.
bragging about
Bon
that.
Jovial wants you to explain why he's starting the show at 7:02.
Because he's an imbecile and doesn't. He's just an imbecile and can't tell time. Honest to
And I
God.
also think he's not putting on the headphones until he's like realizing that the song is almost over and he's not on time. He's the one not on time.
I'll
Well,
say it
yeah.
again. This show does not need to be time sensitive.
No,
It doesn't need to be live. Don't even bother. Just pre-tape
Well,
everything. I don't
if-
care if it's live.
Well, he tries
it's
to.
just
If
as bad.
If we go back,
Pre-tape
if we
it.
go back to last year when Ali Wentworth posted those pictures of like his point POV, you can see he has a gigantic digital clock right to
Right
his
there.
left.
Right,
and
that's
then
what I
on the
said.
monitors in the middle, there's another giant. So how is he not conscious of the fact that the show's going to start?
He knows how many
Because
he
minutes
knows when
Benji's
the
That's
show
late.
what I'm-
starts.
That's what I'm talking about. He has digital clocks. It doesn't. He
Yeah,
doesn't
but,
even know
like,
how to
literally.
read the
It's not even
hands.
like this is a new time. There's nothing new
It
here.
is-
There's zero.
Nothing new. 40.
It's
How many years
literally
now?
the kind of
6
clocks
years?
that you get like someone in a convalescent home.
True.
You know, in those old people clocks? It's literally like those.
Yes, and he carries
hell
his
is he
phone around.
talking
He's
about?
got everything. He's got everything. He needs.
Also, problem solved. Going to the studio.
Go to the studio.
Going to the studio. There, you don't have to worry about that.
There you go.
I didn't finish the word, Mo. So,
I heard the.
okay.
Then he's talking to Robin. Robin has her giant jug of water in front of her, and he asks her where her glasses are. And you know, I'm sure
Oh,
Dennis is
this
going to
is a
want to
great
talk to this.
conversation.
So let's talk about it right now. Here we go.
Where are your glasses? No glasses today?
I've been running around because I have these cats that I'm trying to get used to each other and it's not working. And so I was cleaning urine all morning. And so I forgot my glasses. I'll get them shortly.
You're telling me your cats were pissing on each other? Because you're not getting along? Or, they were spraying. Spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that issue with Walter. But Beth got it under control. You should talk to her about it.
First of all, the cats are German. I didn't know the cats were German. German porn reference. But all right.
How
So
do you know
first
a
of all,
cat's German? I'm just curious.
Well, because it's like scat porn.
yeah. So and
I get
whose
it.
piss is Robin
You did
cleaning
shize
up?
again.
I don't.
Hers or the cat's?
So basically, it's a cat she's trying to integrate into her pack, and she can't. And so
She has
then
2.
Howard gets into. This is the third, apparently.
I know, but she has only 2. I have 3 cats. I introduced a cat to 2 cats. It took 2 weeks. Literally 2 weeks, and I have a house that's 1/10 the size of Blobbins. Literally. It took
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Don't we all?
Exactly, don't we all? So he then starts to go into a conversation about his house. And it was very interesting and weird all at the same time because he's trying to explain to Robin how to prevent the cats from spraying all over each other. And of course, the way Beth, cat whisperer to the stars, has figured out how to do it is by basically blocking everybody into their own spaces in their house. So he's going to tell us about how his poor home looks like a tenement.
And like a lot of parts of my house have like wide stairwells, very Gone with the Wind wide stairwell. And then we have to build a special wide gate. You can't just buy one. And and then you walk in the house and it looks like a tenement apartment. You know what I mean? Because everything is all sectioned off. Yeah, I'm afraid to say something about it. She'll be like, "Well, okay, I'll take down the gates, and then we'll have throw up and spray and."
Tenement.
Yeah, tenement house. So this is a 15,000 square foot house, and you can't keep cats in different wings. I mean, literally, you can keep cats in different wings in this house.
How is it humanly possible that they can't keep the cats away from each other?
Shut the door. Done. All right, it's all over.
Reference, that house is about the size of an average Nordstrom's. I mean,
it's as big as a hotel. It literally is a small hotel.
Small hotel.
Small hotel.
Yeah.
Yes. With extra room. You forget that basement where he is probably the length of the entirety of this house.
Yes, that's why it's a bowling alley.
Basements are.
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole square footage, this whole footprint is basement as well. So you mean to tell me you can't keep those freaking cats?
How many cats do they have?
I don't know. I mean,
I
did a little bit of a deep dive into her stupid cat lair.
Well, no, wait. First of all, though, the Fosters should be in their own little area in the pool house, right? Yes. Now, but then they only have 4 cats of their own? 5? There's plenty of room for 5 cats to live in that house.
5 cats, 2 rabbits. And
rabbits don't go anywhere,
bro. You could have 5 horses.
Well, he has one,
like quarter horses.
1 horse in there.
You can have 5 quarter horses in there living comfortably.
It trots up and down.
like literally, like you could have horses in there.
Rhinoceros.
Exactly.
Robin has never been over. What are you talking about?
If they're lying about everything else, why would we believe a word they say about cats? Why do we believe the cat
You know
stuff?
what? Because
we
kind of
tend to
think
wife. That's the truth, but that's
we
lying.
do see the cats. I mean, she does take pictures of them consistently, and she has a mother or a cat that's giving birth apparently momentarily, and and everybody's like, oh, for God's sake, please induce this cat, do something. It's like we can't look at it anymore. It looks like it's about to explode.
But
this cat.
When a cat wants to give birth,
you
leave the cat.
I can see Beth trying to suck the cats out of the kids out of the cat.
Every
With
day.
That giant mouth.
Every day. I think today's the day. I think today's the
spits them into a spittoon. It's puzzles.
Speaking of cats. Hello.
Hi, Puzzle. What are you doing?
Enough.
Why are you
Enough
there?
with the cat talk.
Hello.
Are you upset with the cat talk?
Yeah.
Let's go to something else that was a little bit psychotic today, and I really want to talk about it after I play the clip. Here we go.
Speaking of Fred, man, this is going to solidify. I love Fred. I've been working with Fred now like almost 35 years or something.
Oh, it's more than that, Howard.
More than with you. Fred's the first guy I ever worked with.
Because we're over 40. It's more than 35.
I might know Fred 45 years, met him when he was a young man in Hartford, but boy, is he a weirdo. So I hear through the grapevine, not through the grapevine, through John Lieberman.
How long it takes him to get to the friggin' point.
Howie Brasco.
Yeah, he does a close-up look at stuff. And he discovered that the Elvis that married Ronnie in Vegas, when Fred decided to get remarried in Vegas, renew his vows.
A vow renewal ceremony?
Yeah, yes, get to it.
Who even knew he had
Jesus
a vow renewal service?
But we didn't know about that either.
He was.
Well, it's not that interesting.
It was the same Elvis that Ronnie was using for his.
So here we go. So Howard has been talking about goofing on Ronnie about using the Elvis guy for the last 3 months, at least, if not more. 4 months, 5 months. That's all he's been doing is abusing the shit out of him about this. And for it to have been for Fred to have done the exact same thing and never spoke up once for him. Not
Part
once.
of me kind of triggered something that I have a feeling that they goofed on Fred for that a long time ago when it happened, because they found out. And I think that they knew that they'd already talked about that on the air.
What year did Fred get married? 94, 93?
Yeah, so it was in 2019 he redid his vows.
Yeah, but never a word. So abuse the old man.
I think that they did. I think that they did talk about it. I think they did goof about it, because I remember Fred talk. It was after the fact. Fred said he renewed his vows and he had an Elvis do it. I swear that happened on the air.
Could be, but nobody brought it up this year. It's just one of those really weird things. Drew Show, I love that idea about, Al D is on here. Maybe he would do it for us, because he's like very into doing the AI thing. And also our very own Mr. Judy Tenuta is taking an AI class, which I'm very excited for him to come up with like some amazing things for us at some point in the near future. Okay, so Ronnie comes in and they start talking about Amazon and how Stephanie constantly has Amazon boxes
Product placement
in the house, about how they have this orchid that's not blooming anymore, and all of a sudden yesterday 2 gigantic bags of orchid dirt come to the house, and he's really crazed about it. And so, Howard, of course, says this.
Can I tell you something? If you do want to emulate me.
So he's talking about emulating him. He's saying that, Ronnie's been talking about how he's so happy he got married. He can't believe he waited as long as he did. And he feels so special and different now that he's married to her. And blah, blah, blah. And says, and a lot of people have been telling me, Ronnie, that, you kind of emulating me with this talk, because how excited I was when I married Beth, and how, wonderful it was for me to be with her at the time. What the hell are you talking about? Why is that something that like novel to say, that you're happy that you married the person that you've been with for forever?
Remember, he invented marital bliss.
Oh my God. So, okay, let me continue.
My house, there's a rule. No living plants or flowers. Thank you. I'll tell you what, I hate having plants in the house. I don't believe plants belong in the house. I believe plants belong outside. And I got to tell you something. I sit and worry about plants like they're human beings.
Okay, really?
Wow.
No, this all comes from his psychotic mother, okay?
Yeah.
Who
anybody that
Wait. My head just exploded. What did he just say?
Yeah, you heard.
Plants are treated like people.
Like free-range plants? Is that what he's going for?
Yes, free-range plants.
Because he used to have plants. He would kill them sometimes, and he felt so bad for the plant because it was a living thing that he took the life of, because he couldn't take care of it. And because plants take so much time and energy and effort to keep alive. And did you know that plastic plants these days look just as beautiful as real ones?
Really?
No,
and so, these beautiful orchids, you could never tell that they're actually fake.
Oh, yes, you can.
Does he understand how photosynthesis works?
No.
Reverse osmosis and all that stuff?
No,
does he? I bet he doesn't grasp the concept that plants make oxygen. Like, I bet he doesn't even understand that concept.
Whoa.
I know that they eat carbon dioxide.
Slow down, Stephen Hawking.
They make oxygen.
I have to open a window. I'm chilly. I mean, I'm hot.
So he doesn't even have that concept that it eats carbon dioxide and it makes oxygen.
And releases. Does he know that plants don't have a central nervous system or
No, he doesn't.
of any sort of thought whatsoever?
No, he
They're
thinks
just
they're plotting
biological
against
machines that require a few nutrients, some carbon dioxide, and some water.
All right, Xavier.
That's all you
need. Okay, it's murder. All right, you don't
murder.
know.
Plants are murder.
So isn't this the guy that's always eating salads and almonds?
Yes.
So what?
Yes.
Does he realize he's eating little tree fetuses?
He's eating baby almond trees.
Exactly, little baby zygotes.
They're baby almond trees.
Yum 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 yum.
All right, psychos. So I'm going to move on now. So here's how we're talking about Amazon, and they're talking about how, again, it's
Paid
about.
By the way,
placement.
we're coming on Black Friday, so clearly
Paid
Amazon
placement.
cut him a check.
What are you
Yes.
mumbling over there?
Paid placement.
Because Amazon needs anybody's
Yeah.
help.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
They
bro,
actually are
bro,
tied
come
into
on, man.
Sirius XM. You
Come
realize
on,
they are a
Amazon
partner of
advertises on our
SiriusXM.
site. How low standards can they possibly have? Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
You guys are
no,
insane.
I'm not insane.
Dude,
Amazon
there's no way
is tied
Amazon
to
gets mentioned without.
Amazon is tied to SiriusXM. If you signed up for Sirius, they were giving you an Amazon Echo for free. They're tied together. This is a cross promotion.
But
They're all
what-
tied together.
What needs to be
It
promoted?
doesn't matter. You always
it's the
think that
holiday
these companies.
season, bro.
Wait, Monique. You always think these companies are intelligent and that they don't realize this guy has no audience. No, they're stupid and they throw money at stuff because they don't know any better. They don't know
Amazon
any better. So
advertises
they think
everywhere,
he's-
bro. Don't act like it's beneath them to do the Stern.
He is
Show.
never
I
beneath him.
see Amazon ads all the time. thanks to
Everywhere,
you.
bro.
Exactly.
I'm seeing
Dude,
Amazon
in
ads
my
all the
hood where the
time.
hookers are, they have Amazon little tattoos on, bro. They advertise
They have
everywhere.
little smiles.
Exactly.
All right, guys. I'm gonna play the next clip, and
Please.
it's Howard talking about Amazon, and basically he's just like us because of all the Amazon packages.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we go.
You guys have nothing on me. You should see the amount of Amazon and like sometimes I get excited when the Amazon packages show up. Sometimes the guy's here 3-4 times a day.
3-4 times a day. Amazon
times
doesn't
a
deliver
day.
3-4 times a day. Stupid.
Well,
Sometimes the post
It's
office
very
delivers
unusual.
no,
Amazon,
no.
and sometimes Amazon delivers Amazon.
Actually, I have had Amazon come to my house 3 times
Really?
because they're idiots and things got ordered at different times and it came from different places and it was the Amazon truck dropped it off 3 separate times. And I'm like, you guys are idiots.
That sounds efficient.
Exactly.
I'm
I'm,
like, no
counting
wonder
the
the
Amazon.
price went up.
He's at 2. Go ahead.
I literally feel bad sometimes where it says, would you like it delivered tomorrow or can we
Yes.
please do it on like Thursday? And it's like, bitch, I pay you what, $125 a year for you to deliver this? You're delivering it tomorrow.
You know what's great when you get that 4 a.m. delivery on purpose.
I never
And you check your security cameras, and the poor dude's like crying, stumbling in the dark with a flashlight on his phone, trying to find your house. And he didn't know that that's going on my permanent recording thingy.
All right, let's listen.
And a lot of it is pet stuff because Beth's basically running in, like an animal shelter. So
An animal shelter.
I go out to the garage and get all excited because I'm like, hey, maybe something.
Now, do you think that an Amazon truck can actually come all the way up to his home and drop off
Great
packages
question.
in the garage?
No.
John?
Absolutely not.
No.
I'm trying to figure out who's opening the packages for him because he ain't touching it. So
Oh,
does he bring Gary over to open the packages
No,
for him?
Consuela's opening.
I guess so. I would think he wouldn't
Mr.
trust
Howard,
the help
I
to look
got
at
a
his
paper
shit.
cut.
I don't even think he won't have it, and he won't trust you to even look at his shit. So who's opening these
Well,
packages
let's
for
think
him?
about this for a really quick second because
Can I say happy birthday too?
You can in a moment. Let us finish the
Okay,
conversation.
okay.
So basically what happens is it's a gated community, right? So who's actually coming in there? Because the postal stuff is left at the boxes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So somebody has to let this person in
no,
through the
no.
gates to drop
Oh.
off packages.
I'll tell you how you do it. Amazon on gated communities gets a passcode. You have like a little who's-me-call-it so they can get in and drop packages off. And most
I can't imagine they
communities-
trust. I can't imagine anybody on that road trusts Amazon.
You know
truck.
what?
I'm just
I agree
saying the
with
way
Dennis,
it works.
But we're talking about extra, like ridiculously
I
douchey
understand
people.
that.
It'd be no. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Because there's an Amazon guy that goes through the security person, but like in Calabasas, like where all the rich people live, that's a no.
It's a hard no. Nobody's
It's a
doing
hard
that.
no for-
They have an
and I'm
Amazon
assuming-
delivery guy
I'm
for an
assuming
Amazon
that the
delivery
Howard
guy.
is a very similar situation.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
good question.
I agree. I think they ring him. I think they ring them. They ring the house, and
Yes.
somebody opens up the gate. And
Remember I showed you his mailbox on the street?
yeah,
It was way
so
away
it's
from the
not
house.
there. It's
Yep.
definitely not there. All right,
Miles
let's
away
continue.
from the house.
Let's continue this.
Here from me. I go through all the boxes. 100 boxes for Beth, not one for me. And I'm like,
100?
what the fuck is this gonna cost? My driveway, the garage and the driveway are like a warehouse. Like
Yeah, sure.
trucks backing in.
I'm sure.
Sure,
Can
sure,
you
sure.
get a car in there?
4-car
I
garage.
don't know,
I'm
but
sure
Beth
she can.
warned me.
Oh,
She goes,
easy.
when the credit card bill comes this month,
Listen to this conversation,
it's
please.
gonna
Listen to this.
I'm listening.
I don't know, but Beth warned me. She goes, when the credit card bill comes this month, it's going to be a little high. I go, well, like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, I had to go shopping because I was going to Paris. I
Yes,
needed
of course.
clothes. And
Yes,
I
yes,
go,
yes.
yeah, but you're not going to Paris. She goes, yeah, I know.
So he says this, and basically, she spent a shit ton of money on clothing to go to Paris, which is so incredibly amusing to me because only Beth Stern would buy clothes to go to Paris as opposed to going
Exactly.
shopping while you're in Paris to get the most
It's-
phenomenal clothing that you can possibly.
Well, you got to
It's
remember,
literally the proverbial bringing sand to the beach.
I mean,
Like,
Yeah.
no joke.
Monique,
Yes.
we are talking about it and its style.
Yes.
It wouldn't know a Louis Vuitton dress from a
She just knows
sack.
that it's $1,000 and buys it. That's all. That's all.
Yeah,
she
but
knows.
it's bought $500 dresses that were horrible looking.
From Louis the Board Op, Dennis.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. So it has no idea.
Who buys
What
clothes
happened to
on
Beth
Amazon?
having her own money? What
That is
happened to that?
not
Oh.
Amazon.
What-
She's
shouldn't
not
this be
buying
right in
clothes.
line
Oh,
with
it's
Beth
not
having her own
Amazon.
money?
No.
None of the clothing conversation has nothing to do with Amazon. I
Net a
guarantee-
porter. It's net a porter, right?
Do you think
It
she's?
depends. It
Do you
depends.
think she's hoping to go there and people go, "Oh, Mademoiselle, pourquoi Amazon?"
Buying shit from Amazon.
No, it doesn't buy anything from
The only
Amazon.
the only clothing you can buy off Amazon literally is like underwear, bras.
You can buy
t-shirts,
you can buy full clothing on there. You
There's no
can.
thing- okay,
You wouldn't
thank
do
you.
it, but you can.
I wouldn't do that. I would never
But-
do that.
But this is why this is a commercial for Amazon. Because
Monique, when I buy clothing on
ain't
Amazon, I try
happening.
it on for the Amazon guy, and then I
Oh,
send
you
it back.
do? Are you the Amazon
At the
model?
door.
Just wait right there. Just wait right there.
Remember I told you about the nude dude throwdown? That's what I use as shorts, and I try it on for the Amazon guy at the door.
You just
I
open the
think
box,
Dennis
throw it on,
is
nope, no
100
fit, give it back to him.
I think Dennis is 100% right because that story makes no sense if you really
Makes no
think
sense.
about it. There's
Commercial.
100% chance that this is an Amazon commercial, nothing else.
Yep. This story's
It makes
so
no
ridiculous.
sense.
But like
Mo.
like
Come
Monique
on.
said, though, it's like
I know we don't like to be
it's like
conspirators.
Coca-Cola
It makes
advertising
no
in the
sense.
Super
What?
Bowl.
Who needs it?
They've advertised on garbage, and
You guys are so cute. Howard has never had anything
You're so
better
cute because you
than
think
like
executives
sponges
are
and
smart.
slime bodies. He's never had major.
Amazon
corporations
is a
invest.
partner with Sirius XM. He doesn't have to do any heavy
I'm
lifting.
sure that they're partners with a million freaking people.
But
I mean,
there's- but
honestly,
there's-
who cares about Sirius?
And they do
XM?
product placement all
Okay,
over the place.
you know what? Let's just agree to disagree.
They don't
but
have their own products.
No,
It's all drop
no,
ship now. Nothing
no.
is theirs.
It's called
Mo.
selling Amazon
Let-
I
Prime.
don't like
It's
that wine,
drinking
Dennis.
with Dennis. It's
I love
drinking
this
with
wine.
Dennis.
No,
Hey,
it's
Dennis,
nothing
what you
different.
drinking?
I
Is that
I am
something that we did?
drinking Siete Sicilianas, Rosso Terra Siciliane, Indicazione Geografia Tipica.
So that's
In
not
the next 3 years, I
Yeah.
want you to keep your ears to the pavement and say, I listened to the Howard. I didn't know Amazon existed until I listened to the Howard Stern show in 2023.
product
Exactly.
placement, as if there's a specific honestly, if they were talking about like Kindle or about Blink or about the ecosystem
Yeah.
like Eros or something, I'll give it to you, but nothing is theirs.
You know what?
Yep.
We're at the
conduit.
we are on the at the beginning of the holiday insane
Mhm.
season. Let's you know what? Agree to disagree now, and let's see what happens. in the
Exactly. See how
weeks
much
to
he
come.
pimps it as it gets closer and closer to Black Friday.
All right, let's move on. So now he tells us that Beth bought a shit ton of stuff for her trip to Paris that got kished, but that doesn't mean she's ever going to return the clothing. But he says this in the next mouthful. Hang on.
Well, my wife does the same thing, but thank God she returns it. My wife goes, it's so easy to shop online. So she'll order 30 outfits, and when she finds the one she likes, she'll return the 29, and she does. And they make it easy, according to her.
And these
but
companies
they pick it up.
accept because
It's just
they don't
annoying.
have a
Listen to the idiot. Here she goes.
store for you to go in and try on things. So if people are willing to take all the merchandise they take into a dressing room at the store in delivery to their home and then send it back, they make better money because they don't have to employ people to watch the dressing.
Okay, Robin, you're so stupid. because
Holy
I will
What
tell
the
you.
hell was that?
Okay, so obviously you all know I worked in the garment center. I'm not going to repeat anything about it, but Amazon burgeoning business drop shipment is a big part of who they are. So basically, you put your product out there, you are completely and 1,000 percent responsible for having the Amazon tape, the boxes, the packaging exactly as it should be delivered to them. And you have to take a shit ton of returns. It is almost a losing proposition.
Correct.
Almost. If you're not a big player in this space.
Well, I mean, blobbing. I mean, that was insane talk. I mean, that literally made my head hurt this morning. I actually hit my head on the table several times because I'm like, bitch, it costs twice as much to ship stuff back than it does just to pay some person whose job is not just to watch people in the changing rooms. They have other jobs. They're not just standing there staring at the changing room, you idiot. I mean, I mean, it is utterly amazing the incredibly stupid things that come out of her mouth.
Because they're so sheltered and so stupid. I mean, really, I didn't even tape it, but he was talking about some guy in Spain who was faking a heart attack or something like that. And he's trying to talk about a place where you buy tapas, and it's like a tapasaria kind of place. And he's like, I don't understand what that means. And she's like, well, it's where you get tapas. And he's like, well, I didn't even really know what tapas was until.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, he has no idea. He's an idiot.
He
is an absolute idiot.
He's an absolute idiot. Okay, so let's continue. And this was just a little comment.
I get all sexed up if I see outfit changes, so I like it. I like being consulted on outfits. That to me is ultimate love.
Ultimate love.
Ralph? I guess when Ralph changes his clothes, he's all excited.
It's just such a weirdo.
It doesn't make any sense.
Josh, what are you saying? We've always called it the Garment District, but I've heard a lot of people call it the Garment Center. Yeah, it's a district. It's not a center.
It's not center.
It's not centered. All right, here's my favorite clip of the day. This is just the most unbelievable thing I think I've heard come out of Howard's minuscule pie hole in a long time. Here we go.
That's not what annoys me.
Go
what
to
annoys me.
So he's trying to associate with Ronnie, oh my God, I'm just like you, Ron.
Yeah.
I have issues too, Ron.
Bros.
Everything
We're
we're bros. We're
Ronbo.
bros.
It's the gayest fucking nickname ever. Ronbo.
All right, here we go.
I can't track the credit card bills because you get a high bill, and then I'll say this. I'll say Beth.
I'll say.
I don't say Beth.
Let me see.
You get a high bill, and then I'll say this. I'll say Beth.
You'll say to someone. It's not to Beth. That's what you were about to say. I'll say to someone.
Yeah.
Not Beth.
No, definitely not Beth.
Honey, this bill is outrageous. She goes, no, I returned all that stuff. I go, yeah, but it says here. She goes, no, next month you'll get credited. And I go, yeah, but who's going to remember next month? It's like I got to track all this.
You don't track shit. You probably have never. I can't even imagine that in the last 40 years you've even written a check, let alone track.
He doesn't know how. I bet he doesn't know how to write a check. I guarantee he doesn't know how to write a check.
What's the fear, Monique? You know Beth's a down-to-earth girl. She wears Kirkland sundresses to France next time she goes.
Pittsburgh Strong.
From Costco.
Yeah.
Where's Kirkland the best fucking punchline for?
It is actually.
Everybody knows what you're saying.
Okay.
Everybody knows.
I know I'm a slow adult, but wasn't last year or the year before that? Oh, Beth buys stuff at Target.
We just talked about
like last week
ago. But
Yeah, right.
It was
It's been mentioned
2 years
numerous
ago.
times.
Last year it was TJ Maxx.
TJ
Wow.
Maxx.
Last year was TJ
see,
Maxx.
Funny
Yes.
how that just keeps flipping.
now it's Marshall's. Yeah, so we know that Beth spends a shit ton of money. I mean, everything she wears, there's not a single dress that is less than $500, not a single bag that's less than $2,000, not a single shoe less than $1,000. Most of the time,
bro,
double, triple that.
You'll see pictures of kids with the pumps still with the little tag on them in the background. They're clearly a few grand.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to Beth bragging about having her own money? Isn't this constitute exactly what one with their own money would buy?
Ooh, good point.
Oh, yeah.
It's always she has her own money. She has her own money. She's not a gold digger. She has her own money. What?
Yeah.
This is the very definition of what you would buy with your own
But
money.
You know why?
You
what
want me to
happened?
look good, don't you?
You know what happened?
Yes.
Beth's Furry Friends was finally built. The money just dried up after that.
Yeah, but you know what? He just funds it now. That's all he does. It's just a way of a tax shelter for,
But they're grift. No, it's still grifting. I mean, it's still grifting hard.
But
so now it goes to Beth's Furry Friends. And, that's where all those $1,000 shoes and the sundresses come from.
Yeah, but she's It's like Dennis Rodman playing for the Tijuana basketball team versus when he was with the Bulls.
I always think, I wonder if she like low key sends stuff off to the Real and gets money for it, because Howard would never know if she's like missing a dress or two, and then she pockets all that money to use
That's a
like
great thought, Monique.
without
That's a great
knowing.
thought.
For entertainment.
Entertainment
Uh-huh.
purposes. Yes, yes,
Is
yes.
that what they're calling it these days?
That's what they call it these days. You get entertainment
Yeah,
delivered.
she legitimately could buy a $10,000 something.
Well,
and
that's a
then
lot of
sell it on the
entertainment.
Real
Or
Real
has.
$9,000.
That's a couple of
She-
pool
she
balls of
never
gave
sell
entertainment.
away this weekend. She gave away like 4 cats. She had 4 different outfits.
Always outfit changes. Yes, of course. Of course. That's the way it works. All right. I just want to cue something up for this next.
Frank the Tank goes, no amount of Amazon packages could ever fill the void in her life left by not having a shot.
That's very accurate.
And not ever having. So true. So true, Frank.
Yeah, that is very
That's
true.
correct. A lot of billiard balls of entertainment.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Let me get to my thing that I posted today so that I can queue up the next clip. So give me a second here. Okay. So Ronnie then says that, Stephanie, now that they've moved into this new house, he starts talking about how he's a minimalist, and saying,
Minimalist,
for argument's sake, Ronnie,
So-
I look behind you, you have all these books back there. I could easily throw away like half the shit you have going on there. And he's like, no, you don't realize most of it is Stephanie's. Then he's like, as a matter of fact, when we moved here, we threw out a shit ton of stuff, garbage dumpster full of stuff. And then we got here and now it's starting all over again. So I don't even know what to tell her. As a matter of fact, we have a walk-in closet, which we've never had before. And I have maybe, 5 hangers, and the entire rest of it is Stephanie's shoes and bags and clothing. And he has the balls,
I love this.
to say this. Here we go. I love this. Everything about it.
So
I mean,
beautiful.
I get it.
You know what you tell
Everything.
her? You got to tell her. 90% of that shit she doesn't even wear.
Exactly.
Throw it the fuck out or donate it to charity.
Wow.
And then don't buy new stuff every minute.
The balls on you.
That
The
is
balls on you. And so,
So-
of course, I had to tweet it today about the $10 million 1,000 square foot closet for his wife down in Palm Beach. But that's okay because
is
he can
okay.
afford it and you can't, because you're the
So-
poors and you shouldn't have all
Yeah.
that.
So, what was even funnier is that this person's preaching minimalism and he has 40,000 square feet of living space. Now, let that set in for a second. That's a major hotel.
Yes.
That's literally a Hyatt.
Yes.
40,000
I
square
honestly
feet.
think, Dennis, that he looks at Seinfeld as his excuse to call himself a minimalist. So he judges it by Seinfeld's 150 cars in his car garage. He says, well, I don't have that. I'm a minimalist because I don't have a car garage. Like, that's his only basis for that. He compares himself to Seinfeld. And then
I
with like
guess.
eccentric collections and stuff like that. But
But
not
you-
that there's any logic to it.
his-
It's just...
Actually, I was having dinner with some friends the other night, and they were talking about going over people's houses, and there's nothing personalized when you walk into the house. Like, it's actually creepy when you walk into somebody's house, and there isn't even like a family picture, like in the main living area. And that's basically Howard's house.
I
In the
don't
main
understand
living
He's
how
area.
playing to
that's not a
celebrities.
home.
He's not playing to his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
I
house
mean,
is
there's
not a home.
yeah, it's
That's
not a
all it
home.
is.
I mean, it's literally creepy. It's kind of it is sociopathic. I mean,
When you
it
think about it,
borders.
we've seen like their desk spaces, and of course, it's all about like Beth and like
Yeah.
some stupid,
itself.
40 by
Stupid.
30 picture of those two idiots.
You hear Howard's worried about donating his clothing to charity. He's worried about people, just like plants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stars. They're just
Absolutely.
like us, guys. I mean, you get rid of all this shit. You don't need it.
He would
If
never
Howard
let
had
a
a
plant
heart,
stay at the
heart,
North Belmore
He
Library.
would
during
donate some of
Hurricane
those wigs
Sandy.
to those chemo kids.
That's exactly right. This is what we should be doing. This is what you should be. Or to Paris Hilton's child, because it's brutal.
Oh,
It is that
we just have enough
Oh, too
wigs for that
soon?
thing.
too soon. Too
Man.
soon. Too soon.
It's like a orange on a toothpick, that kid.
And so Howard, in between all of this, started talking about this actor from Private Parts who on some podcast said he caught glimpse of Howard's penis at some point during
Oh,
the
yeah.
early days of Sirius.
I'll take a
It's sort
chubby
of weird
pickle.
story, and and then Howard proceeds to tell us, his wife doesn't even get to see his penis. There's no way
Oh my God.
some guy could have ever seen his penis ever, ever,
Jeez.
ever.
Wow.
Because he's so pee shy, and there's no way he would have even unzipped if there was somebody else in the bathroom. So that was a conversation.
Monique, how did Howard find this, but he didn't find the Steve-O and Mark Norman clip you and I were talking about before?
I
Hmm.
Doesn't he
kinda
have? How did he find this? It's crazy.
yeah,
There's
because
obscure podcasts like this.
because
Jesus,
it's so
I-
cute that they keep things that are really not something he wants to talk about away from him. So they pick and choose their spots. And you know what? The more Howard talks, the more I truly, truly believe that he rolls out of bed, gets his cup of warm water, gets on air, and barely talks to the guys about what's going on for that day's show.
well,
I
we
mean,
know
I don't
that for a
think
fact
he's
because our
at all.
friend Chad told us that.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
handed a script and doesn't communicate with
I
him
mean,
at all.
honestly, it shows more than ever with the laziness of being, being run in his basement, that he doesn't get up at 6. He's not down there at 6 a.m. He's not there
He's
at
not prepping for an
6:30.
hour. Exactly.
No, he's there at 6:57,
Hence the
and that's
reason he doesn't know that the music's playing. He doesn't even
exactly.
have his
He has
headphones
no
on.
idea.
So he's not really there. And John, I just want to say really quickly, for all you guys out there who have not listened to our interview with Chad, who used to be an intern on Howard Show,
Underrated.
I kind of highly recommend that you listen to
Underrated.
it because it's really good kind of dive into like the day-to-day minutia that an assistant of Howard Stern's would have to go through. We found it fascinating. It
He
was
was
really
Laura
fascinating.
Lackner's like executive assistant, or she
Right.
was
The assistant to the
she's his assistant. So he knew
Jesus.
he knew exactly what was going on at. By the way, and I said this to Monique in a text. Do you guys think Ashley and A Wine are staying at the Millennium Towers now?
No, I think they bought a place. I think that they bought a place because she works at NYU or somewhere down there,
Yeah.
and I think that they're like on the east side downtown.
What makes you say that?
Because he said that he also said she moved into some place, because actually that was part of the conversation of minimalism, because he threw out most of her stuff, which is
Right.
disturbing.
I don't believe anything he says.
Oh,
so
I
it
don't
wouldn't
either.
surprise me if he was like that's a lot of unused 3
doesn't
penthouses
care.
on top of each other.
His-
That's a
wait.
lot of.
His
Doesn't
Florida
I
house
just wonder.
has
Hey.
been empty now for 6 months.
Yeah.
What are the odds that one of the things that was thrown out of her house was a package from Gary Puppet?
Think about this. All
I think it's
4
half
of
her
our
mail,
houses combined
Half the
are
mail is from
still
Gary Puppet.
less square footage
Yeah.
Then that one house.
than Howard's apartment.
Yes.
Oh, then Howard's apartment. Oh, that's right. The freaking apartment. Oh my God.
Think about that. Think
Wow.
how crazy that is.
And
So
it's, and
yeah,
it's empty.
and
it's empty.
Yeah.
And so is the
Well,
Florida house.
Pat, this guy.
18,000 square feet in Florida, air conditioned, 24/7,
Gardened.
garden
House
air
top.
conditioned.
I mean, it's just insanity to me.
I know, just to say apartment like he's fucking Travis Bickle in 1975.
He's got a
Laundry
he's
room,
on a
so right.
third floor walk up.
Oh my God, it's so crazy. Okay, so let's go on to this little kind of quiet, low-key thing he started to talk about. So he asked Ronnie whether or not they were going to go on a honeymoon. He said, yeah, eventually we're getting around to it, and we're going to go to Hawaii. So Howard says this.
We want to go to Hawaii.
Hawaii's beautiful, but I had a real bad experience there in Hawaii when I went, but I don't want to get into it.
Real bad, man.
It's fucking
What
crazy.
kind of a horrible experience
Yeah,
did you
really.
have?
What can be
Oh,
bad in
my.
Hawaii?
That was terrible.
Well, first of all, you won't have this experience, Ron, but I had it. Let's just say
Real bad, man.
it was a situation. I don't even want to get into it. It was a
Yeah.
situation.
Don't ask.
That's all.
Well,
Yeah.
not to talk about something, it's got to be really fucked up.
Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah.
It,
Yeah, man.
it involves some of our country's most national secrets, so I can't divulge.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
Dean
allow us.
Cain?
We
Allow
know
us
the
to talk
story.
about it. Allow us to talk about it.
Yeah, the story of him.
Here we go.
Yeah.
For our first trip together, we went to Hawaii. Supermodel Beth Ostrowski once recalled of her relationship with Howard Stern. He was really paranoid because we had just started to date and wanted to keep it low key. Accordingly, Beth and Howard had sex outside on their hotel balcony. We found out later, Ostrowski recalls, that there had been a guy living in a tree all week taking our pictures. Now, okay,
Mm.
love the story because you know how it went down. Many phone calls were made to
Yep.
many different like National Enquirers, stars,
Yes.
etc., and said, you find this fucking guy and you kill these goddamn pictures. and I will pay for them. I will pay for them if I have to. I will buy him out. I just want all those pictures and the negatives never to be seen the light of day. That is absolutely what happened here.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
100%. 100%.
So I mean,
What do you think was in the picture? Do you think she was pegging him?
No, I think they were just literally having
I think
sex
she
out
was
in the
probably pegging him.
I don't think so.
I
On
think
the
so.
balcony. Oh,
She used one of those little tikis from like the Brady Bunch.
a tiki.
Taped
Nice.
it around herself and just went at him like, "Come here."
What
So-
year is this?
Come
Monique?
here,
What's
you.
the year?
2000. It's
Yeah, so
2000.
he's not quite out with her. When did he announce he's dating her? That's the kind of
See, wait. The
Angie
thing is, they don't.
Everhart, Robin
don't-
Givens
wait.
years.
But John, they don't give years here, so I'm just guessing. But it could be 1998 for all we know. It could be
How did
1997.
you find that, Monique?
We don't
What was
know.
that?
Bring back Jackie.
Okay, so he tweeted it. Okay.
So
There's
the
no-
thing is, everybody's heard that story before about him in Hawaii. He's actually told the story on the air about them going to the beach and there be people taking pictures of them, coming behind bushes. Literally, everybody acting surprised in that show was pathetic. That was the worst acting I've ever seen since the Ahsoka series. I mean, seriously, literally that bad.
Lucasfilm taking shrapnel.
Absolutely, I suffered through. I suffered through all 6 hours of that. I've had enough.
Why shouldn't you?
Exactly, I can do whatever I want.
Okay, so then he starts to do like 2 weird obituaries. For people that none of us know, or I mean maybe
Or care about.
marginally. We've seen the 2 shows in like reruns because it's really old. So
Baby Boomers and Lost in Space.
first one is is an obituary for a guy named Mark Goodson. And
Who?
he was in Lost in Space, but he didn't know this. So of course
No, he didn't.
he's doing an obituary for
I
somebody.
did want to mention too over the weekend. I noticed 2 people died that I do want to give special mention to. Number one, the dude I just read his obituary. The dude from Lost in Space, the original Lost in Space, the one with Billy
Yes.
Mumey. All right,
Yeah.
Who?
the robot.
Wasn't it Billy Mummy?
And,
Or no, it was Mummy. Huh?
You know, remember the guy?
Who?
Wasn't the he was?
Warning.
I don't even know what his name was.
He was like the second in command, and he was in
Yeah.
love with Penny, the daughter.
Yeah.
I think that was the older daughter.
that
Old
guy.
age home.
I don't know his name, but you know what?
So he's going on about the guy whose name he doesn't even know.
This is old age home conversation
Well,
about a show that happened 60 years ago.
Yes.
60 years ago this show happened.
Yes.
And what's funny is that Burt Young died over his
who was
weekend.
a classic actor
Who everybody knows who Burt Young is.
Exactly. But yeah, no, let's continue talking about
He'll
Mark.
kill you, Rocky.
I think the whole reason he wanted to talk about him is because apparently the guy gave up on acting because he was never really able to get work for some reason after Lost in Space.
Because he couldn't
And-
act.
Yeah, I guess.
Couldn't
And
act. Sorry.
and then he became a special ed teacher, which of course then
Oh,
allowed
yeah.
Howard to do this.
Become a teacher at 55 years old.
Wow.
Hey, Mom. My teeth in my garden. Hey,
It's Jerry.
and my friend. Beam me up, my God.
So he continues talking like that.
Crazy Jerry. He was doing, and he had Crazy Jerry drops during it, and it's amazing. They don't even credit who that is.
Yes, yes.
Funny.
I know it's
God
psychotic.
can't take me now. I got too many feet to taste.
So yeah, so then he does that. Then he's doing a second obituary, and this is for a woman named Phyllis Coates, because who the hell is that, right?
The other person I wanted to mention who died is Phyllis Coates. Do you remember Phyllis Coates?
No.
You got a good memory, Robin.
Phyllis Coates.
And you know
Hold
she's
on, I gotta
typing
yell
it
at
right
one of my
now so that she
students.
can see.
Get that tomato out of your ass. Sorry.
riffing.
I'm not pulling up anything for Phyllis Coates.
Ah, stupid.
As soon as
Don't be
you're gonna
stupid.
kick yourself in the head.
Yeah,
Because
sure,
you were a
sure.
Jeopardy champion. Phyllis Coates, the first Lois Lane on TV Superman.
96. So a 96-year-old from Superman, the original one, I guess.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
from
so-
when?
George Reeves.
How old
That
is that?
was that was the 1950s George Reeves.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's 1950s.
Yeah, she's 96 years old. It had to be then.
I mean,
Who's listening to the show who knows who Phyllis Coates is? And
That's
why
almost
is this
70
a thing?
years ago. It's literally almost 70 years ago that show was on.
Yeah, so they went through a whole thing
All right.
about, Superman and
Even as old as I am,
yeah.
I never watched those Superman shows. They were old when I was young. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously.
there was something
Wasn't there
about
a Superman before that though?
No,
Pretty sure
well,
no,
they
there
were
was another
serials
one
before it.
that.
Christopher
Not,
Reeves
not
was
as
the first
famous, but
one
there
that
was definitely a Superman before that.
Once you get that Billie Eilish,
She was like the
Post
second
Malone
or third
crowd, I
lowest
think you
one.
Well,
want to
that
keep
was
them.
they had
how do you
this-
keep that? How do you maintain?
You got to maintain the Billie Eilish crowd
So
with this.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no, Xavier, there was like a serial one like they did in the theaters then, but he was the first one that did television, but it was early television.
It
and
was
bad.
syndicatedly replayed when I was a little kid
But I
on
never
Channel
watched it.
5 in New York and 11. I watched it. It just it didn't
It
hold
was
up because
awful. I
it
mean,
was horrible. But
Bugs
that's
Bunny was
that's
much
all
better.
baby boomers have the same point of pop culture references. Superman, Johnny Carson, Mickey Mantle, the Beatles, they all love the same shit.
It's so boring at this
Yeah,
point.
and
It's
it's
so
very
dull.
boring stuff.
It's really
She was 96.
brutal. Okay, so then of course after this we must go back to what are the two main women that he can't stop talking about for the last month?
Jada Pinkett
Taylor
Smith.
Swift.
There you
And
go.
Taylor Swift.
And Jada. So let's go back to Taylor, shall we?
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
now
No.
she's
That
become
means
besties
agent.
with
And now, like,
Patrick Mahomes' wife, who's so
Yeah.
cute.
He doesn't know
And
anything about this,
besties
by the
with-
way, just so you know. He
Patrick Mahomes?
has no idea what he's speaking of
Yes,
at all.
he's getting.
And now she's become besties with Patrick Mahomes' wife. Who's so cute.
Ugh.
And I think Taylor looked like now the two of them stand next to each other in the box, in the special box. I don't know what this box
Rooting
is,
for
but
their men.
and when Mahomes threw a touchdown to Travis,
He has no idea what
the
he's
two of them had did you know about this? I just learned about it
No,
this morning from the
no.
guys. They have Mahomes' wife and Travis and Taylor Swift have a special like handshake that they do. Like, when people do like a special high five into a
Right,
handshake.
yeah, like
And
Jackie
they bump
Gleason
titties.
used to have that in the honeymooners.
and they
Norton.
and they bump titties.
Okay,
All right.
so you're watching what it was so that you
I
know.
don't see
what
no
we're
bumping
talking about.
titties.
There's no bumping titties.
It's just a
So
really
the
white
honeymooners
soul
did their
man.
special handshake. They both were members of the Raccoon Lodge.
All right.
And
So
they used
first
to
of
take
all,
their tails.
yep.
Wait. Howard is right. Where's the part where they did clam bumpers?
So yeah, I mean, it's so funny when Blobbins like the Raccoon Lodge on the honeymooners. No, it's right. They did the tail of the
Yes.
hat.
Yes.
They didn't do a handshake. They went woo 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 woo, and that was it. That's how they did it. They literally did the raccoon thing.
Yeah.
She can't even remember. Like she's so senile, she can't even remember stuff that she probably has watched 100 times.
She's talking about the Cedric the Entertainer honeymooners, Dennis.
Oh,
That's her
that
favorite.
one,
That's the
yes.
only one she knows.
Yeah.
There was no titty bumping. And this is what Howard cares about. And yes, are we all sick of the Taylor Swift train? Absolutely.
Yes.
Bro, I was
Yes.
actually rooting for the Chargers yesterday.
That was too.
That takes a special something right there.
Yeah, it's a little annoying at this point. It does make one think that the NFL is paying her to, put a more
Show up.
positive light on the NFL and, get a
Oh.
younger crowd interested and shit
Oh,
like
so you mean the NFL doesn't want the stigma of their players to beat the hell out of their wives and their girlfriends constantly and get off and don't get suspended for that? Okay.
I'd rather you not talk about that, Dennis. Okay.
Oh, yes,
Let's just
okay.
concentrate on
Yes.
Taylor.
How they
and all
just
the
Oh, okay, well,
Swifties,
listen.
You know,
There was an incident about 10 years ago where
yes.
a famous running back for Baltimore did some really heinous things
Linebacker.
to his girlfriend in an elevator, and the NFL
Ray Rice.
had that footage at least a month before it was, the
Oh,
press
Ray
got
Ray?
a hold of it, and they did nothing. They
Nothing.
did nothing until the footage came out.
yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that they're scumbags, but that's a little.
They're if the shoe fit.
Yeah.
Of course, then he starts in as agent, and it was as disgusting
this was
as
so
one
bad.
could imagine. And I just needed 17 seconds of it for you guys to
That's
appreciate
too much.
where
too
we were
much.
at with this. Okay,
No,
be
no,
prepared to be disgusted because I know you will be. Here we go.
No.
Hey, Vay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lace his morning cereal with pussy juice. from Taylor Swift. I'm storing it up. I told him, forget the gym. Munch that box.
Yeah, you'll have her on soon. Even though she's, what is she, 29 or 30? It's still
She's
creepy
like
as hell.
30s, bro. She's like
She's
33 or
Ashley's
something.
age. It's still creepy as hell. She's still old enough to be his granddaughter. There's no way that he just can't. The sex stuff with him, I just don't want to hear anything to
Well,
do with
you know what? What makes it especially vile is that he was doing this about a teenager a few years ago.
Oh,
same
endless.
stick. It was
Millie
just a
Bobby
teenager.
Brown.
Okay, it's done. It's done, Dennis. It's all done. You big dummy.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm cursing
I
you
heard it the first time. It made me. I actually threw up a little in my mouth when I heard it the first time. I can't hear that again.
I put it up from Taylor Swift.
I
I'm
know.
storing it
Stop
up.
you
I told him,
putana.
Jim.
Oh God! Please, I'm gonna have flashbacks. I'm gonna have flashbacks. It's gonna be like a Vietnam vet. I'm gonna start like just breaking things. It's gonna be terrible.
What's the
It's gonna be
comedic? Are we supposed to laugh at this or be grossed out, or is he so
oh my
shocked?
God.
What do you want us to do?
I'm gonna
with
be
it?
like the deer hunter.
Only person laughing. Really.
Oh my God! I mean, the Howie Brasco, the Howie Brasco
Horrible.
is so painful at this point, and
Yeah.
there's nothing there. There's literally no writing, no jokes,
Just riffing. Just
nothing. It's just vile. What a gay man thinks a heterosexual man would want to say. That's exactly what that was.
But he's also having a teenage fit because she won't come on the show, and this is him lashing out at her now. If you won't do my show, well, this is what I'll do to you if you don't do my show.
And she's laughing all the way to bank. You know, she made another $40 million this weekend at the box office. She actually made more this weekend than Private Parts did in its entire run. just to put that right in. This second weekend, it made
Most
more than Private
countries
Parts.
aren't making as much money as she is right
Wait, and the best part about it is she didn't have to work for that. They were
No, she
fucking
didn't.
while she was in concert. I mean, this is just like
It's just icing.
simple math. Yeah, it's
Icing at this
it's the
point.
candles. It's not even the icing. It's the
The
little
profit on this is like she's gonna make like $100 million
Oh my God,
on
the
this
profit
movie.
must be psychotic.
It's psychotic. It's
Jesus
crazy.
Christ, it's just amazing. All right. Okay. So then we get into a conversation about, and I'm not really going to go into this at all. And I promise you, and that was the worst of the clips, Dennis. Don't have to take your headphones out anymore.
Please.
But there was a whole big conversation about going down and cunnilingus.
All right.
And
I want to comment on this.
yes, please.
Okay, so the way he talked about it, it would be like me trying to describe, and I wrote this down, trying to describe ballet moves. I mean, he literally has no idea. First of all, he didn't know what the pieces of the vagina were, so there's no way he's ever been that close to it ever in his entire life. He had no idea that lips were on the outside, that the clitoris set up there. He has no idea the geography. He's never seen one. He's never been down there before. 112%.
But Dennis,
Yes.
he's watched porn. I mean, every 12-year-old knows.
Two guys don't
Not
have.
that
There's no
vagina.
vagina when two guys are there. I'm sorry.
Every 12-year-old
There's
knows
a mangina.
vagina.
Yeah, mangina.
What do they call that? The boy pussy?
Exactly.
Oh,
From Deuce
stop,
Bigelow, like from Deuce Bigelow.
Okay, again, you didn't want to hear about pussy juice, but it's okay to talk
I
about
didn't say
me.
anything, did I?
That I don't want to
I
hear.
didn't say anything.
I don't want to hear that. All right, so here he is talking about going down. Let's just talk about that.
I
Real
like going down. Maybe women do. Some women might like giving blowjobs. I always enjoyed going down on a woman, but I was never good at it.
Giving blowjobs? No, you're probably not.
Really be a
Here-
couple of the gals
couple of
seemed
the
to really
gals.
be writhing when I was doing it.
A couple of the gals seem to really be writhing. You know what they wanted? All they could see with that tongue is your fucking black card. You stupid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
First of all, wait, how could his tongue get anywhere near there with that nose?
Oh, there's no way. I mean, his nose
That-
would probably
that
do a better
nose-
job than his
that
tongue.
nose- That nose is arriving on the scene days before
It
the
would
rest
do a
of his
better job.
body.
It would do a
Yeah,
better job. Hard, pointy. How could it be bad?
Can I quote Digital Underground?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm being sincere because in the 69, my humpy nose will tickle your rear.
Okay, so that would mean he'd have to be laying the other way in order for that to be something that he could do.
He
right?
can't even do that.
He can't
no,
do that.
no, he
Can't
can't
do that.
No.
So he takes a phone call from a heroin addict or a meth head or something. I
Yeah,
can't
wait. Now,
remember
let me
what-
set this up. This is
Yeah,
a call from California
I
at
don't
8
have the call, but you
Oh.
can talk it through. Go ahead.
Okay, so he gets this call, it's disjointed call from this guy in California who, I think at first he talks about Billy West, and then he goes into that he's gonna go to jail for, he's a heroin addict, but he's gonna go to jail for the 3-strike law, and just rambling on about this things. And Howard kept them on the air very, very long. And
Very long.
let's also remind you that this call happened at 5:30
LA time.
California time.
Yeah.
How many heroin addicts do you know are up at 5:30? I'm sorry, that's really not a time they're up.
But either that or he just never went to bed. I mean,
going to bed
Yeah, but
that time.
remember, it makes you a little sleepy.
that's right. That's where John is going to bed.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Me and my heron friends are going to bed at that time. Just having little needle fights.
Exactly how it goes. So of course he asks about Billy West, and Howard can do nothing but like move off the conversation. I didn't
Quickly.
play that clip because whatever, we know what that's
It was
about.
it was ridiculous, but I mean, it's 5:30 in the morning in California. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, no, this is not happening.
And then some lesbians called in to talk
Lots of
about
lesbians.
how they eat each other out, and
Yes, of course.
And every last one of them sounded the same. I mean,
they all sound like March
Someone
March.
mentioned
All of
on one of the listening things that, is it funny how all the callers sound like middle-aged women?
No, they sound like overweight lesbians. That's what they sound like.
So who's working in that office?
They all sound like smokers. They sound like really gruff, But listen, don't forget. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on air, but one of our people on Radio Gunk, and I will not mention any names, male or female, was approached to be a caller and to call in when needed.
Yeah.
And this is who these people are. So they're not back office, but
Well,
they're callers.
Well, I
with a
there's somebody in our
specific
chat
agenda.
that we've played that Johnny Meyer. He showed me where
scripted.
it was. I got the call and I played it.
Well, it's a little bit
Yeah,
less than scripted. It's a little bit more. Can you talk about this?
Well, it's all right.
I
It's
mean,
a premise.
pretty
It's
much any of us, if somebody called us
Oh,
and said, "Could you go to
Electric
and talk
Eel.
about blah 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 blah?"
But
Yeah.
here's how the scripted part is. His answers are scripted because he's not smart enough to think on his feet for any of these things. No matter how mundane it is.
No, but
can't.
if the script says that we're going to talk about like
Exactly.
cunnilingus or something today, then let's have Large Marge, who really has
Absolutely.
played 17 roles.
I mean,
in the last like
is it
3
like the
years.
clerk back when he was on AGT, how someone would always talk about, whatever, like just set him up for whatever he wanted to talk
Remember,
about.
he was
No,
the only
no
judge.
money, no money was involved. It was
There,
just for
there he is, Monique. Johnny Meyer. He was a paid caller via the Electric Eel who was called in with a premise,
I'll
and he
stop.
stayed
You do.
on for 10 minutes talking about how much he hated the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
So
Oh, you get the who, what, where of the character.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
the other thing is that remember he's the only
No, they
judge
aren't
on
paid.
AGT that
There
had
you
an
go.
earpiece. Literally, he was so stupid he couldn't even think of things to say.
Johnny
night
Meyer,
before-
the night before, there is no script. They're actors. You can spot them by their confidence level. Well, but
Same
see,
difference.
it runs hand in hand with being a good caller. That's why this person was contacted to be, a player, to be somebody who calls in and can speak to whatever the specific necessity is of the day.
Exactly.
This person ever wants to be known, they can by all means, I know you're on here all the time, you can by all means come out and tell us about it when the mood strikes you. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. So I don't even care about this David Crosby thing. I was going to go
No, who
into him
cares?
talking
He's
about poor
dead.
David
Who
Crosby,
gives-
but
Who
who gives a
cares?
shit about him? Let me actually even remove it from
Don't care.
my whole plate. Yeah, I don't care either. I really don't. Okay, so then
Circling back with earlier with Ronnie, remember the one person they talked about that he still wanted, and we had spoke about off the air was Cher, and the other dinosaur rock
speak about
person.
that off the air. Yeah, I took that clip off too because
But-
he really desperately wants Cher.
So pathetic.
Why?
Exactly, because dinosaur rock. He thinks it's 1975 still.
he's
Does Cher
fascinating.
even know she's Cher? At this
No.
point?
No, probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay.
He did talk about what else? Post
I don't remember.
Malone,
He's zoned out by now.
how great he was, blah blah
Tons
blah.
of phone
blah,
calls,
blah.
tons of letters.
Tons of letters.
Rappaport came on to drag it out to 10:30. Literally like a clockwork.
I'm gonna get to him. Yes. Okay. Wanted to
That's-
talk about this really quickly. Hang on.
Sure.
I got to pee again, but I'm going to take another short break. But
Oh, Jesus Christ.
so this weekend I had to pee into a jug for 24 hours. Did I tell you about
Why?
this off the air?
Yeah, of course you told Robin about this off the air because apparently now that he had that little stone removed, they want to see if there's like a buildup of uric acid. So long story short, he had to pee in a jug and then they did tests and everything was okay. That's it. End of story. But
Hypochondriac.
worthy of like 15 minutes worth of discussion.
Hey, wait a minute! You gotta pay me for that piss jug. You cheap motherfucker! You gotta pay me for that.
Oh my god, we absolutely have to do it. We absolutely have to do that show.
Whatever happened to Enron, man? That douche didn't ever got back to us.
Enron.
You think the grooving
Elon,
plan today,
sorry.
Monique, was let's be as deviant and talk about bodily fluids day. This will be that.
It sounded
day
that
where
way.
We just try to be deviant. This is
We're just
deviant
building
day,
up to Cocktober.
and it's a grooving day, right?
Well,
where
wait.
Building up to Cocktober.
Wait. October. There's only 4 shows left, and there's
Yes,
guests
of
on
course.
2 of them right now.
And they really only have one bit that they're doing that they're so like hooked up on. So that's pretty much all Cocktober.
Wow. Once again, even though we don't want to hear any of it, once again, overpromise, underdeliver. The story of Howard Stern. 100. I mean, it's just his entire career. Overpromise, underdeliver.
Look, it's
That's worse than getting short-cocked.
24-hour urine for creatine. Creatine.
Yeah.
Creatine. I don't understand that.
Right on.
So,
It's kidney
back to
function.
Jada. Let's go back to Jada, shall we? Here we go. Okay, so this is
Thanks, Ida. I thought I'd do a good one too.
obsessing. Yeah, he does do a good Riley. He's obsessing with Jada Pinkett, and
Love him.
John, I love you. I love you like you're my brother. But 8 clips of Jada on the Stern Show. I feel like we should. And if you want to do this, John, I'll be happy to do it.
Unlike the Stern Show, I'm trying to give you options.
If you want to record like a Jada thing, a Jada versus Howard.
No, I just
thing,
wanted you to choose. I just gave you options. Gave you a lot of
but I
different
like
things.
it. I like
Cosby's
the,
on there.
I like the idea of it, but I think maybe we do it as our own little like half hour, 45-minute like recorded show, not a live show. We'll do like a little recorded show and we can put it up. What do you think?
Sure. I mean, there's so much in there, and I'm so tired of those two. And I'm not even.
I detest them. I've seen her in person. She's actually very, very beautiful. She has very light eyes. She has very light skin. She's a really pretty girl in person. She's thin. She's tiny. She has beautiful features. She really, really does. I fucking hate her though. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to curse. I'm trying not to curse anymore.
She has a crazy Robin. Stella got her groove back. Triceps too.
Exactly.
That is true.
In person, she is. Yes. And G Canada, in the real sense of the word, she's a bold, ugly little dog-faced monkey boy. But she's not, though. She just is very affected, and she's really. I was listening to NPR over the weekend because it's so boring. It makes me fall asleep. And they were doing Fresh Air or whatever that chick's name is, was doing an interview with Jada.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus, she is so affected. Like every word that comes out of her mouth, like every curl is manufactured. Every word that comes out of her mouth is manufactured.
Everything she says is super important, according to her.
But it's all
obviously
all forced and manipulated.
Yes.
And I mean, she makes way more of her relationship with Tupac than I think it deserves.
Marty.
Wait, you mean Tupac?
Tupac, yes.
Marty, oh, Jesus. Marty D. Jada is an effing witch. I think she eats babies for breakfast. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. We'll run with that one. I like that.
Sean Kemp's babies, then. It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Let me put it out there that someone on
That's a lot of
Radio
babies.
thinks it's pronounced Tupac.
2 packs. And that's what Howard said he smoked a day. 2 packs.
2 packs.
Tupac.
Yeah.
She's not into
Somebody
that.
who
We
works-
won't mention names.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
The process that he's going through right now, I think would be so helpful to so many men.
She sounds like Darth Jada.
I was going to say, I think she's been taken over by an alien.
So then they proceed to call her Darth Jada and do like a whole Darth Jada thing. But yeah, this is the way she talks. So every word she says is so important and so meaningful. And she'll just, she gets really, really close to the mic and she just,
Vocal fry.
I just didn't know what to do, and it's like, oh my God, you are so infuriating, you monster. You with your cuck husband who doesn't give a rat's ass about what you say about him, and yet
Super cuck.
you talk about him like he should be eating shit at your feet. And then he shows up at like your book promotion, all smiles and waving like, "Hey, that's my wife. I love it so much." And it's like, how does one do that? How does one? She must have something on him. I mean, you don't talk about someone
Weird.
begging somebody. I
I'm
gotta
sorry, I had a
believe that
cough. I
he's
had a cough.
putting it up the
Sorry.
ass hard.
Mo,
Hard.
you know what, Mo? Wives just don't understand.
What does Jazzy Jeff say about this?
Exactly.
Word.
Okay, so so then we go into the whole thing about Cocktober. They constantly talk about it, and they're really going to set up the sausages right, because what they're going to do is they're going to have them specially made so that they're actually shaped like penises with the casing
Sure.
on it, and then they're going to put the casing
Do
on
they
it.
know how sausages are made? They don't know how the sausage is made, do they?
They don't know. They don't know the secret sausage. No, they do not.
They don't know how it's made.
No, they did not. Wait, there was a Crazy Days and Nights post a few days ago, a few years ago, that said that Jada was shown videos of Will with underage boys, and that is what triggered all of this. I don't believe that for a second. I will tell
Stay
you.
brave. Be strong.
Do they have absolutely?
Times will
What's
change.
their Scientology affiliation? There's got to be something.
I
It
think they're
so
kooky
seems
enough to,
adjacent to that world.
I think they're too kooky.
Might be too kooky.
Do not despair. Be true to your feelings. Times will change. Your oppression will end. Well, if you're a man, be safe, be brave, and above all, be proud to be a boy lover. Boy.
Parents just don't understand.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean,
Okay, so then Rappaport decides to bag on this, and I think a lot of people were giving him shit for even participating in this play.
why does he have to do this, though? He is a bigger star than Howard.
Any cinephile,
He
go
is.
look at his IMDb. And
He's
he's
the biggest star
so
than
many
Howard.
good.
Well, he might be a bigger actor than Howard, but he's definitely not bigger than Howard. No, there's
Ask
no
people
debate on that.
25 years old about if they know Michael Rappaport, if they know Howard, they would know Michael Rappaport.
I don't know about
100%.
that. I don't know that. I don't know. Will Smith is as gay as Rock Hudson, correct? I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know. We're
We
not
don't
making
know.
assumptions.
We don't know. We
He
don't
was
know.
just-
We
You
don't
know what?
know.
He was just getting jiggy with it.
We
Yeah,
don't-
exactly.
All right, here we go. So Rappaport calls in and bags on Cocktober. Here we go.
Here's Gary Delabate, I'm sure, to say something. Go
Oh, so of course, Gary just relishes this because it's such a big deal that Rappaport canceled
ahead,
on
Gary.
him.
It's very. I'm not even going to get down on him or anything. He's a taker, right? He takes. Calls the show. He takes.
Taker.
Plugs his fucking mustard. His shows he's on, but he doesn't give back. And if he were anybody else involved in the show, we'd ban him from the show for a couple of months because he's not participating.
Right. So that's the quid pro quo here. So we'll let you on. You can talk about your shows, even though Rappaport doesn't need the Stern Show
No.
He's not Bob Levy. What does he need the show for? What has it ever done for him? They need him far more than he needs it. He's just
Nothing.
an attention whore. There's nothing here.
It's horrible. So so they start talking about who's going to replace Rappaport, right? So I made a little list here.
Oh, Christ.
Do.
So first we
cares?
start with John Stamos, and Gary's like, hey, maybe I can get John Stamos to stay an extra day, and then he'll do the bit with us. Like, yeah, sure. Meanwhile, back on the Reddit ranch, people are all abuzz talking about, okay, is John Stamos a little bit high right now? What's
He
going
may
on?
just be a little, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
a little Peruvian candy there.
Oh,
Walking powder.
A little bit.
He was playing billiards.
Look at him,
earlier.
dude. Oh, he's going like, do they know?
He's a little fidgety.
He's got that paranoid monologue going inside. Do they
By
know?
the way, can we
they
even
tell?
discuss how gigantic his head is?
He does have he looks like Gazoo.
Great Gazoo. Hello, dum dum.
Hello, dum dum.
He looks like he could be Paris's kid.
Whatever
Too soon.
happened to predictability?
Never too soon.
I mean, okay. So yeah, so apparently,
Yeah,
there's
he
a-
looked like he had a little bit of.
apparently
Yeah, a
there's like
little,
a
he powdered
big
his
thing
nose
going
before
on
that.
about poor Paris Hilton's
Oh,
son.
come on, the kid's nothing wrong with that
Look at that
kid.
No, he's got to check out the brain on Brad. I mean, honestly,
I mean,
He's
he
gonna
has
be-
an uphill. He has an uphill battle.
He looks
I mean,
like if you know when they do the Hulk next Hulk movie and they do the leader origin story.
Oh God.
God,
I mean,
come
you know,
on.
the truth is, he will absolutely grow into his head. It's fine. I mean,
So he's gonna be like 10 feet tall. You're saying?
but let it not be mentioned
He's
that Paris
adorable.
Hilton, you know, would be the first one to absolutely beat the shit out of anybody who was
Whoever-
fat or ugly or
Okay.
anything. I mean, she was just
First
a
of all, he was a
monster.
surrogate. So,
Yeah.
but whoever birthed him can do the ping pong trick with bowling balls.
Do you think that kid requires bottle service?
Oh, absolutely. How did you know?
Remember how
Like,
was obsessed with Paris Hilton
today,
for like 2 years?
Paris went on TikTok and said how cruel people were. Bro, I know people that have known Paris forever. She doesn't stop belittling and bullying, verbally abusing people all
Karma,
day.
babe.
That's
Just
literally
karma.
all she
It's just
does.
pure delicious karma.
I know.
Yeah.
And she deserves everything she gets. And honestly, the reality is she shouldn't address these comments. She really shouldn't.
Yeah. Or,
You know,
you know,
'cause then she
you
goes
know,
away.
When she took the picture, go, I'll pass on posting this.
Yeah,
No,
and
but
it's
she
so
posted
funny
it.
because
You
she
can get
feels good to
creative.
herself.
Do his cute little eyes or something.
Yeah, something exactly. Nobody.
Monique, can I
needs to
say
see
thank
We
you
love
to
the
G
baby,
Canada?
you know.
Yes, why?
I honor his compliment from Twitch much more than I do YouTube. It's the same.
You mean the same one? The
It's
one
the
that
same one, yeah.
I love that he posts on both.
I do too. It's
You know,
Hey,
there's so few
would
people.
you
on
would you
Twitch.
guys honestly, is that a 6 head or what?
Oh, absolutely.
No, but he will grow into it. He'll
little
he
baby,
will.
though.
He's
I mean,
adorable. You know what?
be
He
fine.
doesn't have to. I accept him the way he is.
Unfortunately, when he grows up, he's gonna have to. He may accidentally see the movie One Night in Paris.
Oh my God, Dick Fitzwell, that's the head Camacho expected to see in Idiocracy. Is so
And he's gonna be a self-made man with no nepo baby
You know what?
anything.
That kid can move objects with his mind.
Brainiac Jr. Brainiac Jr.
I want to mention before I forget, because I know I'll forget if we hang up at some point in the near future, but I figured out how we can all watch a movie together on Discord, and I really want to watch Caddyshack because I've never seen it. So if any of you are interested in watching Caddyshack, maybe over the weekend when there's no sports on or something, or it's just, you know, just like a late Saturday in the afternoon, I will put together. No, not this Saturday.
Okay.
I will put together details on it, and we'll do a watch party. And I definitely want to do a watch party of Idiocracy too, because that is really
We're living in it.
the future of our lives.
No, we're living in it now. We're in it now.
Ida, thank you so much. We love you. You are our best supporter. You're what pays for me to go to lunch with Dennis.
Thank you so much, Ida. You know, now this old man can only eat some pork chops.
I know.
Ida is, by the way, Ida is a one-woman. She's responsible for a 7% dip in the Chicago crime rate in the last 3 weeks.
That's
Lady Blue.
That's Officer Ida to you.
Officer Ida. Can you call yourself Officer Ida in the chat?
Well, Elvis
I
did.
love that.
I think you should call yourself Officer Ida. Officer Ida. It's actually hard to say.
Officer Ida.
Officer Ida.
Officer Ida.
Hey, Moke, do you want me to do the birthday thing now or wait till the end of the show?
Let me just do the end of the show, and then you can do that.
I'm going to do it, Sin. We haven't forgotten.
Sin, we haven't forgot. Just give us a second. I'm right on my last clip. So anyway, they're talking about people that can replace Rappaport, right? So, okay, so the John Stamos thing, that was a little sidetracked for that little booger sugar. Then he went to Andy Cohen or Anderson Cooper, because why not go the gay route? Because that would be the obvious choice. And of course, they would say yes. Right?
Yes.
Then Al Roker, because you went on his show once, so he owes you.
What?
Conan O'Brien, because he's in building. And then they decided, you know, the best person to use would probably be Eric Andre. And then
Well, he's already done stuff like that.
Yeah, this takes us to the end of the show.
All right. Anyway, I got to get out of here.
Why?
Got a busy day. Very busy.
The contest is on. We're just trying to find contestants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We got contestants, but we wanted to get some celebrity in. You know who I'm thinking maybe? And it wasn't my idea, but I saw one of the listeners was up there on the phone with it, and maybe it's a good idea. We got to go to Eric Andre because,
Eric Andre or Johnny Knoxville?
Johnny will play.
No, he
Yeah,
won't.
Johnny would have no hesitation whatsoever.
Right.
Interesting.
Eric Andre might.
Steve-O is a no, but Johnny Knoxville is a yes.
Eric might do it, but Johnny Knoxville would not shy away from touching one of those cocks.
No.
So that's going to lead me into something I wanted to talk about. And I think maybe what we'll do with this clip is, I don't know, maybe we'll kind of wait on it and do it as kind of like a walk through.
You talking about Steve-O?
I'm talking about the Steve-O thing. I was originally
I
going to
sent
do
you that in 4 parts again, what I originally sent you last month.
Yeah, but I figured
And
we
it was
can watch
sitting
it and we can just talk about it. So basically, Steve-O
and Mark Norman, who's a pretty successful non-television comedian. Like, he's one of these comedians who's gotten by and gotten big without, commercial television, which is a whole generation now of comedians, say under 40, that have managed to kind of do their own thing on YouTube.
Right.
And he's very big. He's a friend of Seinfeld's, which is kind of interesting.
So they basically, here's the way the conversation goes down. They're talking about, would you promote something on, like, say, Howard Stern? And Steve-O just starts to talk about how Howard's changed so much. It's really not the same. I used to be able, I think he was on the show like 15 or 16 times he counted. And when he was going on the show, he had never listened to the show. But, like the crazier thing he would do, the more Howard wanted him on. And then when he actually had something to promote, as opposed to just nailing his balls to his fucking thigh, Howard no longer wanted him.
And let me say this in Steve-O's defense. And when you guys remember the launch of Sirius, nobody would do the show. They couldn't get anyone to do it. So he was willing to come on and fill those gaps when they couldn't get a name. And, the Jackass brand was very big at that time, like in 2006. And he was there for them when they weren't there for him. And this show has no loyalty that he found out the hard way.
He really did. And I do want to talk about this, but maybe we save this and we can just kind of talk it through. And so we're going to keep the Steve-O conversation for another day, but we absolutely
it could be tomorrow because, unless Stamos, it comes in absolutely, flying, it's going to be boring.
Apparently Stamos doesn't drink anymore. He doesn't do anything anymore.
He got a DUI a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, he's had some issues. I mean, they've been bringing it up kind of constantly.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore either.
Different media.
Cleaning out the computer.
So what we're going to do for cleaning out the computer tonight is a couple of things. I don't know what the pedo clips are. I don't even want to repeat.
It was to comment on the Taylor Hicks, the Taylor Swift stuff, because Howard just being a creepy pedo to all the pop stars over the years, and I was showing you a kind of a medley of Jessica Simpson and Britney Spears and Pink and Rihanna, and him being it's the same. He is a 14-year-old girl and he wants to be them so bad, and it's him just being really creepy with a medley of pop stars.
Okay, cool. So we're going to save that for our last clips. First things we're going to do is some Billy West. So somebody had called and asked about Billy West today, and there's just a couple of really quick hits on Billy that we can play. So we're going to go through them. Here we go.
Billy explains why he left the show, and he explains who he hates on the show. Billy, very, very candid in this.
So what happened with you and Howard? Why did you leave the show?
Because I asked for a raise and nobody would return my calls.
Who did you ask?
Well, my solicitor was talking to the station.
So cute, my solicitor.
My solicitor.
And they didn't want to know from it, so I just get up and left. I'm not a victim. I'm 55 years old. I had to go make a fucking living.
Do you miss it?
I did my bit for radio, you know what I mean? There's so much to do in the world.
Yeah,
so, like I said, I'm too old anyway.
Do you listen to the show still?
I can't because I don't have a serious radio.
You left, did you not want to listen to the show after you left, or did you still listen?
I never listened to radio. I only listen to like Air America.
So first off, I find it fascinating that these two Morlocks, as John would say, it's just the grossest like Halloween-ish Comic-Con thing that they're wearing right now.
One of the many things I hate about JD, and I think you guys will back me up on this, I'm 100% sure he doesn't know who Billy West is.
Oh, he doesn't know. Absolutely
I
not.
think he has no
think he does.
baseline for the history of the show.
No.
He doesn't deserve the work on. I honestly don't think he knows who Billy West is.
And Billy, by the way, Billy is a national treasure. Like
He's beloved, Monique. It's a
He's
very
this
rare
generation's
list.
Mel Blanc. He really is.
He's a national treasure. He deserves all. And you know what? He's right. He's like, you know what? It was probably a blessing that he didn't get the money that he asked for.
Because then he was able to do Ren and Stimpy.
He was able to go on and be incredibly popular.
When Ralph, like, what happened with you and Ralph that you didn't like him so much?
Well, there's stuff I never understood. Like, he got really aggressive with me one day, and I
just want to make sure we're talking.
And he started some crap with me out of the blue one day, and you know, I had nothing to do with him. I didn't give a fuck what he did or what happened to him or anything. I was just minding my own business, and I had a hair transplant done, and I wore this Yankees baseball cap, and he comes galloping in out of fucking nowhere one day into Gary's office, grabs my head and starts squeezing it like that, and I got up and I was like, "The fuck do you think you're doing? I'll knock you through that fucking wall." And he goes, "Yeah, you would too. You're a psycho. You're a fucking psycho." And I said, I was this close to punching him in the head with a business end of a fucking pen, you know, like that. And then he just galloped off. You know, he said, "Well, your head shouldn't have been in the way." I never forgot that. I never had anybody do that to me in my life. Like just come out of nowhere. You know, I never.
I'm kind of amazed that he would actually play this, to be honest with you.
Well, this is back in this a long time ago. This is when there was transparency. Artie's getting pissed, and as the legend goes, and I agree, Marta. JD does not have Asperger's. That's a compliment. He's a dumbass. He's a duller dumbass. That's exactly right. The legend goes, Monique, and I think we were told this by Chauncey, that Billy threatened with a lawsuit, and the reason he wasn't, one of the many reasons he wasn't asked back is because he tried to sue the company, and they let him go, and Karmazin let him go.
Don't also forget the story about how when they brought in that guy who did the hair replacement system,
Yes, that guy from
they
Ren and Stimpy.
completely
Yes.
destroyed Billy's hair. Completely destroyed it, burned his scalp. I mean, it was just like a horrible thing. And he wanted to sue the hair transplant people.
And that too, yep.
Want him to because they were
That was a sponsor.
advertisers and
That was a sponsor.
So that was a thing.
And
as
Jackie, so Howard's going to back and do his obfuscation bullshit.
A couple of obvious questions there, though. I mean, obviously, did you know that he asked for a raise, Howard?
No, I did know he asked. What happened was he said for us, he really didn't work for us.
Right.
He worked for the radio station. He was part of the production team and
right, because he did stuff for everybody on that channel, right?
Didn't you hear him on the Cope show? He was on the Cope show. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Does anyone remember hearing him on anyone who lived in the tri-state? Does
No, he
anyone
never-
remember
he-
ever hearing him on any other
Billy
show?
West
but
was
Howard's?
on nothing. He was only on Stern show. That was all he was on. I listened to K-Rock the other times a day. He was
He was
on.
Meg Griffin's voice guy.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right, Rodney. Ralph still lives in his dinky apartment, and Billy is like, buying and selling shit in Beverly Hills. You're exactly right.
production. He did all the commercials and he'd do funny voices on the commercials. Right. So I would have him sit in. So he came to me and he said, "I'd like to be a permanent member of your show." I go, "I'm thrilled. That sounds great. I'm all for it. I'm going to say something to Tom." He goes, "Well, I'm negotiating with him now." I said, "Okay." Tom said he was handling it. Next thing I knew, Billy left.
Billy was gone, yeah.
And I was like, "Well, what happened to Billy?" Well, they couldn't come to a conclusion on a deal. And I went, "Oh my God, Billy's so great." I mean, that's exactly how it went down.
Man, that's hard.
And all I ever did say to the station was, "I think Billy's a real talent. I think we should keep him in the company." Billy didn't want to do this commercial work anymore and the production work.
Becoming famous. I remember listening to him and going, "My God, that guy's the funniest guy ever."
Yep.
Yes, this is
So
true.
let's let him go. So let's not. Jackie told us, right? How many times he said Howard gets whatever the hell he wants from
That's right.
management. All he's got to do is say, "Throw Billy." What do you guys ballpark Billy was making at that time in the early to mid '90s?
Probably not much.
Not much.
40
He's
grand?
probably getting paid per show.
He was getting.
I would say 50, 65,000.
He was getting
Yeah.
Stuttering John money.
Yeah.
I think a little more than
I mean,
that.
he wasn't
but-
full time though.
He was part-time. So he's on what 2 days a week? I think
it was.
there,
I
two
think
or
it
three?
was Wednesday. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think he was.
Yeah.
He was going to L.A. on the weekends.
Yeah. So
And
I mean,
he wasn't a full participant, so he wasn't on like all throughout the entirety of the show. He would come in for like certain bits and pieces, but I loved him on the show. I thought he was.
Everybody did.
Oh, he was funny.
You know, the first time I saw him was doing the Jackie puppet, and man, that was the funniest crap ever.
Yes, absolutely. All right, last clip on Billy. Here we go.
I don't know. Somehow, like even in that explanation, it seemed like Billy was mad at me that I wouldn't pay him, and it's like
because you had nothing to do
I
with
would have
it.
paid Billy. I mean,
There was a
I don't pay
there was
him.
definitely a passive aggressive tone to that.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh,
I feel bad because I love Billy, and I don't know. I always think Billy's angry with me somehow because he never comes on the show and like hangs out. And
No, he said he would come on anytime.
Oh,
He
really?
loves you
We've
guys.
asked him a
Yeah.
number of times, but he hasn't shown up.
Yeah,
because I
oh.
love Billy.
Yeah, he loves everybody.
And I was sad when he left. I was like, oh fuck, we
Yeah,
lost this
we
great
missed
guy.
Billy.
No,
Love
we
Billy.
interviewed.
I don't know. I just feel so bad that.
I love
that-
the wig. See the way the whole head moves when he
Yes.
scratches?
Oh yeah, I've never seen that before.
Fuck, we lost this great guy.
No,
Look
we
at that wig move.
The whole thing moves, and you can hear the scratching.
You know what? You know what's
Actually,
funny
here's
about this?
scratching.
What's really funny is they're calling him Chicken. The same dude that they got to do Mark's shot one during the LA
Yes.
riots. You know,
Yes.
like literally, like there's riots going outside, and they're getting him to say the N word while
Yes,
doing Mark's shot.
repeatedly.
And, but he's Chicken.
Yeah.
He's
Fuck, we lost
also
this great
very
guy.
jealous of
No,
Billy.
we interviewed.
I don't know. I just feel so bad that.
I liked him so much. I don't even mind admitting to you that when Jackie left, I remember discussing it with writers at the Norm Show that we all heard the rumor was he was going to take this job. Jackie, we were like, my God, this is going to be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Well, Billy.
Yeah. Well.
Went out to the West Coast, we lost him.
That's it. That's how it worked.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Expound on it, Howard. And this is also like Billy was getting so many compliments that he was like, he's the guy you talk about on the show. Did you hear what Billy West? And Howard was threatened by that. In addition, there's so many layers to it. He easily could have kept them. It would
You know
have
what's so
taken nothing.
cute? You know what's so cute about this? How absolutely blind Artie is of how he was gonna get absolutely bitch slapped in a few years.
Well, I think Artie's I think it's a foreshadowing for him, Dennis. I think Artie's looking ahead and going, "This could be me." I guess when I realize when I tell him that I'm responsible for half the fucking subscriptions, when I come for a raise, what's going to happen to me?
I don't think he had that much foresight. I think he got blindsided.
I think he's a lot smarter than people think.
Oh, he's smart, but I think he was blinded by being the Stern Show of the 1980s, not the Stern Show of 2006.
Some of that, but I think he's it's a foreshadowing of like that could be me. That's going to be me.
Well, I think it's that he really liked Billy and really appreciated Billy's work, as we all have and do and did. And it's a shame that, and probably like Jackie, I'm sure he wasn't asking for a whole shitload,
It's nothing.
just enough to be comfortable with doing what he was doing. And, people always loved calling Tom Chiapasano. There's a reason that he was called that. And there's also the fact that radio does not pay a lot. It just doesn't.
Well,
only for people like Howard.
And if you're a threat to the advertisers, they're never going to bring him back.
Anybody else, you're just a voice. You're just another guy.
You are replaceable.
And sadly,
He's
Howard,
not, Dennis. Billy West is not
Oh
replaceable.
no, Billy West is not replaceable. He's
Howard didn't
absolutely
stick
not.
up for him,
He's
though.
a real talent.
Full stop. Howard did not stick up for him. Howard did not
No.
have his back, and that's what Artie's really talking about here.
You've seen him have bitch fits. You've seen how when he there's not a shot now. He has absolutely no passion for the exit of Billy. He would be whining about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. He would never shut up. If that was done without his clearance, he would never shut up about it.
But it's always the same. It's always the same shtick. Oh, I have no remember to a lesser degree when Bubba was renegotiating his.
It's similar to that.
Contract,
Yes, X.
it was always like, oh, I have no control over
yes,
it.
it's very similar to that rap. Yes.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Exactly. Always the
He's
same.
the big swinging dick on all of these stations, so of course he has all the say. Of course he knows. Of course Tom came to him and said, "Billy's asking for money. What do you think?" Of course they came to
He
him.
always plays like even today, like with it's always like like he's always like blue collar guy and. He's always, he's like, I'm subjugated to the man too.
Credit card bills.
Just like this morning with the start of the show, it's like, well, I don't know who my boss is. Like, no, it's you. You're the boss.
You're the boss. 100%. You're the
You
boss.
douche. You're
Always
the boss.
was. Always will be. He won't have it any other way. He has Buchwald
No.
signed contracts to make sure
absolutely.
he's the boss.
Yeah, but
It's never going to be any other way.
That's not even a question, you guys.
King baby.
It isn't even something that we should be discussing.
We know
We all
that, but I mean,
know
it's just
what
we're
we know.
just commenting on how he tries to pull the wool over his fans' eyes. That's all.
He sounds ridiculous during that. No one believes. I mean, even then, you didn't believe a word he said. I never believed him. The day really was.
Of course not. All right. Well, sorry, Billy. Sorry that it's like this, but not sorry because
Not sorry,
you
you
went on
did
to
well.
be a productive human being and got out of that.
Oh, dude, the dude.
Because you would have been stuck there. See, that's the whole thing.
He's done
They
well.
would have lured you in at Sirius. They would have paid you like a bunch of money, and you would have never left. You would have never soared. You would have just been another toady for this stupid show. And right now, you'd be making stupid phony phone calls to religious shows in the middle of Alabama because you didn't have anything else to do. So there's that. Okay, so be happy.
And
All
then
right.
Ren and Stimpy.
We're going to move on to our last 3 clips, and this is Howard just being a creeper. Don't even want to use the P word anymore. It's just Howard being creepy.
Oh.
So let's play these, and we are in seriatim, right?
So-
we have Rihanna, Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, it's all pop
So
stars
wait,
in the
real
vein
quick.
of Taylor
Real
Swift.
quick before we play this,
Mm.
you realize now we're in October and we still have not heard from Benji.
He brought him up though, right?
He brought him up, but he's still
That doesn't
he's
mean
still
he's
not
there.
been
I know,
on the
it
air
could
yet.
be-
He's the only person not on the air.
But
only
don't forget, before any vacation, I mean, he's not really been on the air. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
know,
mean?
but it's very weird that he's the only person not on the air.
They
The
went
only
to
person.
him, I don't know, like maybe 3 months ago about Cocktober and whether or not
That's
he
when
was-
they got. That's right before vacation. 3 months.
Yeah,
ago.
that's it. That's the only time I've heard from him. All right, here we go.
All right, let's play this.
Who is that?
This is that chick Rihanna. He told me I ran into him.
My artist.
My artist.
But that girl's my artist.
How do we remember this?
Chick like 16 years old. No. Good looking girl. Good looking light skinned black woman. Yeah. I don't know. I saw her. She was with Jay-Z and she was hot.
At least
Man, it looked good.
I love the way John cuts
16?
clips.
So, just rewind because he just keeps rattling the age over again. He says she's 16.
He's an idiot.
Number 3 song is Jessica Simpson, who's like another 15-year-old.
Oh, Jesus.
Is she another graduate of the Mickey Mouse Club? Or
Yeah, I think so. And I got a calendar of her.
Uh-huh.
She's a piece of ass, too. What is everyone? It's like kitty porn.
Lock him up.
She's all hot, too. Look at this thing. She's all hot, too. Look at this thing.
How old do you say she is?
She's like 15.
Get out. My God.
I would bang her. There's nothing illegal about having sex with this, is there? That's a woman. That ain't no child.
Please.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Roman Polanski's calling me.
Let's see what Jessica Simpson looked like at 15, just so I can see.
She's probably pretty cute. I mean, for a 15-year-old.
We just you just have this monster Pete hiding in plain sight right in front of us, and we just kind of didn't really harp on it. We let him kind of.
Yeah.
It was creepy, but we just kind of moved on. It's hiding in plain sight.
Yeah. All right, let me just look at images here so we can see what she looked like at the time. Sorry, she's.
She looked like a 15-year-old.
There's not a lot of photos of her at that.
They may not
Really?
identify the age with what. Just I don't know.
No.
It's when all those pop stars started to hit the scene. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Jessica Simpson all came out, and he's just ogling over. The younger they were, the more he liked them.
But wasn't Rihanna one of R. Kelly's victims when she was a kid?
I
think so.
No, isn't it
I'm
Aliyah?
gonna say yes.
Isn't it
bro.
Aliyah?
Well, Aliyah was obvious. He married her.
I know, but she was only
I
15
I
when he
know.
started with her.
You think
they were definitely a couple, and I'm pretty sure Rihanna was still really young at the time.
You think R.
Look
Kelly
it
was
up.
Relly
I mean, I
Martin
could be
piss
wrong.
jug?
Yeah, I think it was Aliyah. I don't think it had anything to
No,
do
no,
with
no,
it.
no, 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 no,
Well, she
no.
went up more piss
Aliyah was
jug.
died when she was like 17 in that plane crash. Rihanna came after that.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that if that's the case, of the fact that Howard's sexualizing her as a kid just makes it extra creepy.
Of course, it's extra creepy because it's Howard. All right, let's do the last one. Here we go.
I was wondering, I watched this video, I'm a Slave for You. You know, the Britney Spears one. And she's all slutty. I mean, she's this close to being a whore. A good one they play on TRL.
Great song.
Because there's something mentally wrong with me that I watch TRL every day. Now I TiVo it.
Don't you get a little weirded out that everyone in the audience is 11?
Yeah, I do, but I like the show. You know who I'm into?
Oh, no, here we go.
All right, this is Pink.
Oh, Pink's okay.
I like
Sophia.
She's so cool.
She's another one who's been listening to you since she was 6.
Really?
Yeah, I actually saw her
You think she
live.
banged
Oddly
me?
enough.
You saw Pink?
Holy Christ.
Imagine being 50 and watching TRL. Exactly. Can you imagine?
No.
11.
Yeah,
Imagine
and
walking in your dad.
Rihanna died at 22, not at 17. Just so you know.
Well, he married her when she was like 15.
Xavier with all the wrong facts. Rihanna's Jay-Z's
You know what? Go
protege.
screw yourself. Go look
Leah
up how old they were when they were married. Go suck yourself right now.
Is that
Suck
a new?
yourself dry.
Is that a new website coming up? Xavier's always wrong.
No, you know what?
R.
No,
Kelly
no,
married
no.
Aaliyah when she was 15, forged her parents' signatures.
Thank you.
Christ.
Yes, but it was
That's
Aaliyah. We
insane.
kept saying that.
What was
not
that?
Rihanna. We kept saying yes, Aaliyah. Yes, we knew that.
Yeah, yeah. No, but he dated, dude. He was all over Rihanna when she was a kid too. Look it
Lord,
up.
that's
It's R.
sick.
Kelly.
Look it up. Look
Date.
it up, bro.
Look it up. Come on.
Marta, you know
look
what
it
the
up.
problem was? The show wasn't replayed all the time back then. So a lot of times it was like you missed it and it was gone forever. And so nobody fixated on the little things. We weren't listening with the dog ears.
I don't think that was played on Best of.
No,
Rihanna
no.
did- Rihanna
Monique, I
dated-
found that on the way to your
I love
Annie Previn request.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how I found that. It was like just before. It's not written in Mark's friggin'.
Okay.
It was a
Oh, interesting.
happy accident. That's how I found
fell
it.
down a weird rabbit hole. I love that one. I'm gonna take that Jessica Simpson one and put it on.
So who's
TikTok
that? Who was
tomorrow.
that Republic? Who's that conservative dude who did the medley of the Olsen twins that we found as well? Matt
Who?
Walsh or some shit.
Matt
like that?
Walsh. Yeah.
All right. What did you
So
find there?
Rihanna dated the following: Drake, Chris Brown, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Kemp, Kareem Benzema,
Huh?
Lewis Hamilton, Travis Scott, Hassan Jamil. That's it. No R. Kelly.
Check the private chats.
He's no Hassan Whiteside.
Check the private chat. Click on that, and then I'll accept your apology.
Yeah.
Let me see what you speak of, you bastard.
Hey, Radio Gaga, get ready to suck it again.
Oh, damn you. All right, let me share this. Okay, another celebrity she has been openly endorsing is R. Kelly. She has been partying with him as well as even wearing R.
That was like
Kelly
a minute
shirt
ago,
in
too.
public, knowing what he did to those poor little girls. But it doesn't say that.
Okay.
I mean, they look very familiar. I'll give him that.
I don't know enough.
I believe I can fly.
I don't know.
I believe
Tinkle,
I
tinkle,
can
tinkle.
touch them kids.
Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
I think about it every night and day.
All right, my
He's one of the only
friend.
celebrities to get the fullest extent of the law. It doesn't happen much.
Oh, partying isn't dating. Okay, wink.
Yes, partying isn't dating. I mean, if you go back and see.
What?
Well,
I'm sure
saying
they were sitting down reading the Bible.
if
Absolutely.
you go back and see all the
Yeah,
people that, like the Kardashian Jenner girls, the Jenner sisters were hanging out with.
Didn't they run through half the NBA?
Oh my God, it's just crazy. That whole crew, Travis.
Just the Pacific
Scott,
Division, Dennis.
Oh,
it's
just okay.
crazy. Crazy. No, because Xavier doesn't want to do them. I ask him all the time about doing Gunk in the Nights, and
I can believe I can
nothing. I get nothing from him. All right, so guys, that's it for us tonight. I'm so glad it's only
Okay,
10.
do I do the happy birthday thing?
Yeah,
or?
now you
Go
can
ahead,
do a
do
happy
it.
birthday for Sin.
You know what? I
Sin
don't
Lou,
wanna do
I
it
hope
now.
you're there.
Do it.
Oh, do it for
Do
Sin.
it.
It's not
Do
for
it
us.
for Sin Who.
Do it for Sin Lou.
okay.
Silly, ready? Okay, we're
Hey,
gonna be
wait, I
quiet.
need to acknowledgement that she's actually still here.
Let's see.
Are you still here, Cindy Lou Who?
At 33, you bastards.
It's okay. She's allowed to come back and listen to it later, and we'll let her know on the Radio Gunk
Did she
website.
bail? Oh,
There she is, right there.
There she is. Okay. So, do you want Sin? Do you want your real name? What
No,
is
no,
it
no.
that
We'll
you
just keep
want?
it at Sin. We don't need to.
Sin Lou Who. Okay. All right. Go for it. And a 1 and a 2.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I remember always I got such a fright. See them in the dark with my great big cake. If I were you, if you were me, and I with you, would you like a present too?
That's it.
Dear Sin Lou, happy birthday to
Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.